Alright, you guys, welcome back to the Runtpack Ghost Plane Walking. I am your introductor, Maisie. Now, let's get into it. That's what opening bit looks like, you guys.
That was a really good opening bit.
A lot of it.
Can I get a summary? And
Yeah.
maybe let go us forever.
I can make it last forever. We got 3 pages. Okay, so we started off returning through the stump with DULUM's helpful teleportation magic, and then Hyre lowering a rope to the rest of us. Vinny and Bagatha met us and told us it had been days that we'd been gone, even though it only felt like an afternoon to us. Salnon tried to reward us with stolen goods that I refused, but the rest of the party took. Some guards had come to the grove. They were looking for Malagus. I got really mad at Malagus because he was saying his job was important and separate from the mission, which means he isn't dedicating his entire life to our divine mission, which made me really mad. DULUM, Hyre, and Malagus had a really long-ass talk about their feelings. DULUM was my boy, though, and held the anti-Malagus line. Malagus was trying to explain to DULUM how money works. DULUM was somewhat unconvinced. We learned that Hyre has been away from home for 1 month, and he was sent here on a job, but doesn't know if he'll ever get to return. Malagus also kept talking about his bad eyesight. Then they were looking at the village of Brightbank. It was now a military encampment, and we found that the portal in the center of town had grown into a monolith, which swallowed several nearby buildings and the graveyard. Father Lucius was there praying to the portal. They came back and reported, and so me, Jaya, DULUM, and Hyre all went to Brightbank to see if we could figure out the guard schedule. Jaya specifically was looking at that. DULUM is still periodically glowing red in his chest. There was a lot of guards. We decided that Malagus would... Okay, we went through a lot of... Actually, skip. I'm going to save that for later. First, we went to communicate with the Ent, Scrubcorn. He told us he would fix the portal to send us home. He rerouted it to a nexus, which should make our destination a step closer. Then in Brightbank, we sort of went through a few different plans until we ultimately settled on everyone would go through the sewer except the 2 humans of the group, me, Oro, and Malagus, who would lead the cow through the city because it couldn't fit in the sewer. The sewer was pretty clean and actually mostly a stormwater drain, so our boys didn't get totally gunked.
Pretty gunked.
I apologized to Malagus and told him that I understand he's a product of this garbage world and that he's not just the worst. Malagus and I had to talk to the father for a while and try to distract him because he was wanting to kill the cow before the rest of you guys got there. Then Malagus ran away to get something before we left, and he ran into the rest of you, in an alleyway. And as you were crossing the barricade, we entered combat, where we fought Father Lucius and many soldiers, and ultimately fled through the portal. Along with Father Lucius, who we somewhat took as a hostage, one could say.
And we stand by it.
Nice. Good summary. Thank you for the summary, Orofeus. You guys did bring Father Lucius directly to the portal. Where we left, you had all fallen into a whirling electric blue and purple portal, the height of a tall spire. Now, you had no idea where this portal was going, but you had all dived headlong in, preferring that to the sort of violent outburst of the city guards around you. And that is where we will begin this episode. So, as you all jump into this portal, you step through, and you are all surrounded by flashes of bright purple, bright blue, and bright pink lights, more vivid than any color you've ever seen. These hues dance and flash in front of your eyes as you see the world around you seems to get pulled apart, almost like fabric. It stretches away from you endlessly in every direction as what once was the quaint city of Brightbank disappears into a blip on the horizon, instead replaced by these swirling colors and flashes of light. First, a sort of rush of chaotic winds assail your senses. You feel all of your clothes sort of whip and pull at you at odd angles. For you, DULUM, you sort of feel this in your chassis. The pieces of metal sort of pry and pull in weird directions, almost like magnets are pulling at you in different ways. You also hear strange sounds, distant echoes, whispers, screams, the beating of unseen wings right beside the beating of a drum. For a moment, the entire world flickers and you glimpse shards of different places splintering into your vision at different times. You see flashes of endless blue oceans, flashes of towering spires made of bone, endless fire, sprawling cities of glass and brass, and lush jungles teeming with life you've never seen. You all are fairly overwhelmed by this sort of sensory explosion occurring to you. Even those of you who traveled through this portal on the way here, you didn't really remember the process that well, but this one you were experiencing all firsthand. It's as if you're staring through a fabric of existence itself. The sensation is very terrifying at first, but as you feel your body's not in any pain, though you can't really see your body anymore, you still mostly just see these flashes of shards of other dimensions, as well as these colors and bright lightning bolts across your eyes. You sort of feel a sense of beauty around you. It's almost like you're being pulled in every direction at once. Suddenly the colors begin twisting and coalescing into a darker shape. You see sort of an absolute for a moment as a concrete scene before you emerges, and you feel like you're being thrust into it at hundreds of miles an hour. And you, all of a sudden, all take a deep, gasping breath in, realizing you had forgotten to breathe the entirety of your travel as you gasp and wake up on the ground in some sort of strange forest. The ground beneath you is a deep, bruised purple, scattered with blue and strange oranges. You see slight hues of red along the ground too, as the sky above you beams down bright colors. Some reflections from the portal perhaps seem to pour in and illuminate the ground around you. You all sort of can't see very well as you were almost blinded and deafened by this experience, but you all sort of begin to wake up in this location. As you wake up, can I get each of you to roll a D100?
Oh, yeah, baby.
So, as you all begin to wake up, you see the scene in front of you a little easier. This seems to be definitely another dimension from what all of you can tell. There is, like the color of the ground now, it wasn't just a trick of the light, it really is a bruised purple color, and the sky above you seems to shimmer under what looks like very close galaxies, as if you could reach up with your arms and touch the galaxies right above you. The air here feels thicker and heavier, and you all smell a sort of foreign scent and energy from a plane that you have never experienced before.
So this is none of our homes.
Oh, that is sick.
None of you immediately recognize this as your home. It seems to be just some sort of strange forest. The trees around you have cotton candy pink leaves that sort of float down almost like cherry blossoms. The ground, this dull purple color, and everything seems sort of a little bit more vivid than you quite remember. And again, the sky is like these galaxies that are right there, swimming at the touch. As you all wake up, though, and you arrive here, opening your eyes again, blinking out the vivid lights from the portal, something isn't quite right. Each of your bodies or minds feel a little different, and you find that the portal seems to have affected each of you in a strange, inexplicable way. Starting with Jaya. Jaya, as you arrive and you begin standing up off the ground, catching your breath again as you took that deep breath as you passed through, you feel that your arms remain on the ground, having been stretched unnaturally for a moment.
No!
The bones and muscles inside of your arms strain and ache to burst free, and your arms grow sort of elongated and very sinewy, before sort of snapping back to their normal size after about a minute of these flailing arms. You still feel this sensation, though, and your arms are slightly wiggly. You feel like your joints could dislocate at any second, and you see that your arms are probably like half a foot longer than you're used to.
You gave this to an old man?
All of your arthritis feels like it's gone. It just got relieved, but instead you feel like if you moved your arm too hard, the whole thing could crack.
God, I don't really feel too good. This is a little different than my old man pains.
Jaya, you sort of stand up and you blink out the stars from the portal as your arms feel a little longer. Moving on now to Hyre. Hyre, as you blink the stars out of your eyes, adjusting your vision to this new landscape in front of you, a deep, unsettling vibration hums through your chest. You swear you can hear the sound of your own heartbeat, amplified 100-fold, almost like a war drum inside your ribcage. Every beat sends a shockwave through your body, rattling your teeth and shaking your vision. It unsettles you for a moment, and it slowly begins to die down over a minute, but now you can definitely still hear your heartbeat quite loud.
He has the...
Can I hear anyone else's heartbeat? Or just mine?
No, it's just yours.
He has a Dead by Daylight sensor.
DULUM, as you sort of come back to yourself here, you felt all of your sensors were overloaded in this experience, and it takes a moment to sort of recharge everything and reset all your sensory systems to come back into yourself. As you sort of come back into consciousness, we'll say, you see that a strange, translucent haze begins wafting off of your metallic components, almost like a mist. For a brief few moments, your body becomes almost slimy and insubstantial, pushing against itself. You could almost push your fingers right through your other hand. And it feels as if you were almost made out of sort of a wispy smoke. The effect fades after just a moment, but a sort of chill lingers in your components. And you feel like a part of you is not entirely grounded to reality here. You feel slightly less substantial. Player that is Orofeus. Orofeus, that's you. You're my PC, Orofeus.
I'm anonymous now?
Orofeus, you find that your hair flashes through an array of colors, shifting like an oil slick under moonlight. The colors swirl violently, disorienting you in front of your eyes. You feel like you're back in the portal before sort of fading back to your normal hair color, which is this sort of standard brown. However, you see the colors kind of flare up every now and then, flickering across your hair in pulses.
I have become a DeviantArt OC.
Great. You all arrive and you take a moment to get your senses. Each of you felt like you were definitely stunned by this transport in the portal. You each need about a minute to fully come to yourselves and take deep breaths to wake up from the experience. After about a minute, you all are feeling well enough to sort of look around and get a lay of the land. This place seems to be very organic. The forest around you sort of teems with insect life. You hear buzzing and chirping. No chirping of birds that you guys have ever heard, but it still sounds like organic creatures out there. You also notice that planted, sort of driven askew into the mud in front of you, is a deep, deep black wooden sign that looks to have been built. Written on the sign are very thin white letters that look to have been meant for whoever travels through this portal, as it sort of faces the portal in the direction that you all were spat out from. It's a little bit ways away, so you can take a look at that. But first, what would you guys like to do?
How come you got the fucking nice shit? You got nice fucking hair. All I got is similar fucking problems. It feels a little different. I will admit that. But I still feel old.
Father, I'm so sorry. Where are you?
Does this look like your home?
What are you looking for, Hyre? Your father?
Father Luchas.
Oh shit! Yeah, is he here?
Oh my god!
Shout out next to you guys. Yes, having stopped their quarrel, Hyre, you recall pushing both Malagus and Father Luches past you into this portal. The two of them are sort of sprawled on the ground. They each took a minute to get their bearings. The father still seems sort of doubled over, and you see him wincing with a very pained expression on his face, his teeth clenched. You're not sure if that's from the force that you ran into him with, or perhaps some sort of extra-planar effect. But before you're able to sort of pull over to him and see what he's doing, Malagus stands up and turns towards you all with a sort of wild look in his face. You see that his eyes have a fish-like property to them, huge and bulbous, sort of sticking out of his head a little bit, and solid black.
There's that bitch right. Ugh.
He jumps up at you all, and you see he's got a genuine smile over his face, and he goes, "Oh, yes, that went quite well, I think. I suppose I should have accounted for perhaps some minor changes traveling through the portal, but we did it. We're free. I'm finally done." And you see him like kick his little heels together and sort of jaunt off a little into the woods.
Oh no! What does that mean?
Well, he's in a good mood.
Is this his home?
Perhaps?
He shouts out at the forest, "Woo! All right, that's it. We did it. That's scene, baby. Man, you guys really had me going there for a while. I was worried I would crack, I would break, but that's it, I'm done. I did it. That was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Damn, I am ready to take a nap."
Explain.
Well, that's it. I'm free now. I made it off the material plane. That was my deal. I'm done. I escaped. I'm done with you people. I'm just gonna tend to myself now. Maybe I'll grow a garden.
You're to deal with who?
What?
My deal? My deal with what? I'm free now. None of that shit matters.
You were just
Indulge
using
us.
us?
You also don't know where you are.
Feeling at the top of myself. And as he sort of walks back over to you guys, cheery as can be, you see that Vinny and Bagatha, who have also traveled to this portal with a cow, also slowly begin to rise. The cow has, in your eyes,
Not
gotten
the cow, his
smaller.
name is Gravy.
Gravy has shrunken by about 3/4 of his size.
Thank fuck.
He's a little bit more manageable now.
Can I go up to him and check up on him?
It looks like, as opposed to you all who are intelligent creatures, for an unintelligent beast, it's taking Gravy a lot longer to come back to his senses after the interplanar travel. He seems completely out of it, stars in those big beady eyes, tongue sort of lolled out, almost like unconscious but still standing, like those goats that pass out while they're upright.
I'm gonna stand right next to this little dude, my gravy boy, gravy baby. I'm just gonna sit right next to him, make sure I'm with him throughout this process. It's kind of like when you have your animal like heavily sedated, or like a pet's heavily sedated for like surgery, and you get them post surgery and they're like kind of coming out of it, and you kind of like ease them out of it by just being there and being present. That's what I'm doing with Mr. Gravy baby.
Nice. And also being commoners, Vinny and Bagatha sort of take a second longer to get up as well. You all brush it off a little faster than they could, and it takes them a minute to sort of come to their senses before they're able to discuss with you. The cow that is Gravy seems very happy with your pleasantries with it. It doesn't really respond to you being completely out of it, but you think that, somewhere in there, this cow is probably happy.
My gravy baby.
Malagus continues, where he goes, "Oh yes, well, I'm happy to share with you. You see, let's just say I was wanted on the material plane for things that I believe a man should not be wanted for. I would have been close to the end of the earth and shackled there, likely for life, if not killed in some horrific way. So really my only escape was finding some idiot who knew how to travel planar, and that seems like you lot. I'm glad you could get me through here, and I think I'm quite done with you."
All we did was step through a portal that was already there.
What?
You needed our help for that.
We killed, at least 10 guards to get here. I could not have done that by my own.
I don't think we
Did you kill anybody?
a single
Did
guard.
you do
I
any
did
of
not.
that work?
I recall a very large explosion, killing at least 5 or 6.
If
I
I
did
recall
love that
correctly,
TNT.
though, Malagus, that was your explosive, and I think you did the most damage otherwise as well.
Well, yes, I was going to fall tooth and nail to get in here.
I know, but I'm just saying, I really think you could have done it on your own.
Well, I suppose maybe I wanted some help, huh? Maybe there was a sore spot in me that thought, oh, these poor creatures from other dimensions, it's my job to help them. And
Well,
didn't
that's
I?
very
I got
sweet of you,
every
Malagus.
single one of you. I got every single one of you one step closer to your homes, right? So, thank you, Malagus.
Sure. I'm really confused because you're talking like you've just pulled off some great scam, but I feel like we all did the thing we set out to do.
Yes, I can finally be myself. I'm free. They were watching me. They were watching me every second.
You're pretty much acting the same as you used to, but a little more manic now.
Well, how's this for new? Where's the nearest tavern? Let's have a drink, on me.
How would we know where the
Malagus,
nearest tavern is?
He sort of glances around. He's like, well, this place looks like there's people somewhere, right? Let's go find someone that makes ale.
Could you say what the sign said again?
None of you have walked up to read the sign yet. It's written, there's a lot of text on there, so it's kind of small typeface.
Oh, I'll go over to read it real quick. Somebody's
Okay.
still gravy.
You sort of stumble over, your arms still feeling long and like you don't have a lot, very rubbery as they move around beside you. This sensation is very strange. Each of you sort of feel like, you've arrived, but something's changed. None of you know if this is going to be a permanent or temporary side effect, but it seems as though interplanar travel does come with some risks.
It's temporary. Maybe it's not forever.
Your arthritis feels better.
But my fucking arms. This might as well be arthritis.
So, as you step away from the portal, Jaya, I should note that all of you notice that the portal continues shimmering behind you. It did not disappear for any reason. It's still there. You almost can swear you can faintly hear the sound of Brightbank guards shouting on the other side. It's been swirled and twisted and curved by the warp in space-time here that you can't tell what they're saying, but no one else is coming through. You all seem just by yourselves here, and Father Luce still seems doubled over in pain. You notice that he seems to have little wisps of yellow-orange smoke come out of his mouth every once in a while, almost like he's coughing it out onto the ground. It roils on the ground like smoke heavier than air.
Can I approach the father?
You can. He seems to be in a lot of pain right now. He doesn't seem to notice you approach.
I'll try to use my last healing spell on him.
Wow, okay. Alright. I should note all of your hit points from last time do remain, so Hyre and Malagus are both at 1 HP.
Yeah, Hyre's bleeding and looks at Malagus like very sad and is like, well, sounds like you got what you wanted. Sounds like you should just go. And then heals the father for incoming roll that I will get to you at some point.
Also, as you all sort of take a beat now, you notice that for what appears to be mostly the group that is Jaya, DULUM, and Hyre, you guys are kind of filthy right now. Not like putrid, but you did walk through a sewer. So your clothes and bags are sort of stained gray from the water, and you have a sort of, not horrific, but a rather unpleasant stench about you as little leave-ins from the sewer can stick around on your clothes and armor. Is that 7 healing higher?
Aye.
Okay, you healed the father for 7. That makes him feel a lot better. He's looking a little better. His breathing becomes a little bit more calmed, and he thank you, but you should just kill me now. I have nothing I'll tell you, and well, I won't be taken prisoner. Chantea deems it so, and my sacrifice will be in her name.
What? Why did you hold on to Malagus?
What? Malagus held on to me. I tried to hold him back.
Oh, I apologize. God, everything is Malagus's fault. Father, I'm so sorry. Father, we are actually on a holy mission to bring everyone back home. And now we can bring you back home.
Listen, you don't need these charades with me, boy. I know what you all are. There's no lying or hiding here. Just get it over with. And he sort of sticks out his neck in your direction with a pained sigh.
Hyre, who is on 1 HP, bleeding profusely, will be like, I'll protect you against anyone that goes for you. And then can I roll a performance check to fall over? Like pitifully?
Can this kill him
yeah,
if he
you can-
has 1
yeah, that's
HP? Like if he hits a rock?
One. Mason, that one, he dies.
That one,
Right.
that one he died.
That one he does die.
That
Yeah,
one I
that
know.
one he
Permadie.
dies.
Permadie,
That one he does
permadie.
die.
Oh, turns out I'm cracked. 16.
All right, it's a pretty good-looking fake fall. I mean, the father is sort of sidetracked with his personal, the pain
Yeah,
that he's in.
fair.
You get the feeling whatever mutation he experienced was likely not pleasant for him. The father does seem to sort of chuckle at your fall a little bit, where he goes, "Ugh," and he sort of ignores you, and you see him sort of try to shuffle off in the direction of the portal as if he was going back toward it. But he's not moving very fast.
Push him in. Push him in. It's what he wants.
Father, would you rather just go back to the plane you came from? Because, we didn't really mean to take you here.
You see that your question kind of gets answered before he can, as when he creeps closer to the portal, some sort of unseen wind forces him back and pushes him away. He's just not moving fast. You think because he's crawling toward it, perhaps he's unable to get in. But there seems to be some sort of force pushing him out, and he can't quite crawl back in the way that you guys had entered from the other side. Where on the other side you felt a sucking, on this side you feel a pushing.
Interesting. Okay.
Father, stay with us.
He continues crawling ceaselessly, and you see this sort of sad parade as he goes up and gets swept back again and crawls up again and gets pushed back, and mud tatters his beautiful white robes.
Oh, you
as
love to see it.
Coughing up this heavy orange smoke.
I help get him up and try to walk him.
You can. Before we do that, DULUM, do you have any immediate response to your alert that you received earlier?
No external.
Okay, no worries then. I realized that I'd given DULUM a long time to think about that, because it was sort of a last-minute reveal at the end of the last episode.
Can I read the sign?
Yes, you can. Can I get a quick athletics check from you, DULUM, as you help him? Jaya, you approach the sign. Let me tell you about this sign. As you approach it, you see this unevenly shaped slab of wood that looks to be some sort of black wood. You've seen wood like this before. Certain types of ash wood get this black. And it all seems haphazardly nailed together. You notice the entire sign shimmers faintly with a magical aura. The writing on it is somewhat erratic but clear, written in a variety of inks and scratches, all in a similar bright white color. It seems as if almost the author couldn't decide on a single type font or size of the quill, as it almost looks like one of those ransom notes where every word changes. As you begin reading it in your head, the sign sparks to life and begins reading itself out loud, as if activated by a magic mouth spell.
Oh.
In a sort of loud, whimsical voice, it reads, "Greetings, plane-hopping wanderers, or unfortunate victims of plane-tearing events. I suppose it depends on your point of view, doesn't it? Fear not, for you have come to the realm of Zavrix the Boundless, master of portals, scholar of the infinite planes, and occasional collector of oddities. If you survived the jump through this marvelous anomaly, and it is marvelous, isn't it, then I do hope you'll pay me a visit in Circad, the delightful little nexus town nearby. It's the only place with enough beefed tongue and tea for someone of my stature. Be warned! The woods between here and Circad are filled with, let's call them troublesome entities. Creatures from every nook of the multiverse, and worst of all, other people. Nasty things. Avoid them when possible, or at least be very interesting when they corner you. That always helps. If you manage to survive, and I do hope you do because I'm very interested in you already, we can have a good long chat about your travels, your dreams, and maybe a thing or two about how to avoid getting eaten. Look for me in the center of town. I'll be the one with the best hat. Yours boundlessly, Zavrix.
Another
P.S.
fucking Droki?
Mind the weather here. It's odd, but not nearly as rude as some of the locals. The magic mouth stops, and the sort of faint glow, magical aura around this sign sort of fades. And you guys can all sort of notate that for your own personal use. It is written out. This is written in the common tongue, and as the voice finishes, the woods seem all of a sudden very quiet. The voice was very loud as it came out of this sign, and the sound of insects buzzing about and birds sort of stops all of a sudden. Malagus, in his excitement, sort of walks over. What was that? We've got a thing already.
It was a sign. It talked to me. I think through magics. It sounds like there's a town nearby, but it's not the friendliest of wildernesses, I guess.
It's certainly sounded foreboding.
Did that sign know who we were, or does that sign just talk to everyone the same thing? Because it said it was excited to see us.
I tried touching at it again or reading it again to see if it triggers anything.
Nothing triggers. You just read it like normal.
I don't know. Well, I think, what time is it? I think, I don't know if this is the best place to set camp. I'm a little tired myself. A few of you guys don't look that great either.
I'm feeling really woozy.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty bad myself.
You hear as sort of jutting a hand out directly up from the curled position of his body, Vinny throws up an arm and says, "Me as well."
Oh no, what happened to you?
Vinny, you sound a little different.
I'm really feeling myself.
Can you say that one more time?
I'm not really feeling myself.
Can I come over and observe him?
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Oh, I'm so perceptive. I cannot promise that this will be my role. 22, 22. Oh, beautiful.
So the aura around you guys continues to shimmer with different colors. For those of you who have any experience with this, which I don't think is any of you guys, but DULUM at least, you've probably read about this. This sort of gives you almost a fae vibe in terms of these sort of larger-than-life colors around you all the time and the shimmeringness of it all. But this is definitively not any of the Feywild landscape that you're used to. Usually the Feywild is sort of brighter and pastel. This one seems a little bit more dim, though it could just be because it seems to be nighttime here. You approach Vinny, and you got a 22 on your perception check, Jaya. He looks, honestly, completely normal. His body and face look about the same. He is slightly ashen from the explosion that occurred earlier on your way through the portal. He sort of bears the mark of, a bit of blackened scorch marks, but he doesn't seem injured. But as he sort of opens his mouth to say something as you're looking at him, he says, "Hey, what's wrong with your arms?"
Do they look different? I don't know if they look different. They feel different.
They don't look so great.
What do they look like? And I look down. Do I see it
Again, they
moving?
look half a foot longer than normal. They sort of undulate as you rock your body forward and backward.
Like Jello?
Almost, yeah.
I don't really know how I feel about this. This kind of feels uncomfortable. It's almost like it's my arthritis, except it just is Jello. So I'm
nothing
trying not
like
to,
arthritis.
I think I would hire. I did not ask for your opinion. I think I would like to. If anybody has any extra fabric, I would like to wrap myself in that so that I move as little as possible. But we can do that later. What about you, Bagatha?
Just really quick, I do hand Jaya 3 flea-ridden mastiff skins.
I politely hand it back. Actually, I'm a hippo. I don't think I can get fleas. I try to tie my arms a little down, so kind of like a shawl, but a little tighter, so that it keeps my limbs in place.
Okay, you sort of tie your arms down a little bit. You make sure to keep your holstered firearm in arm's reach just in case you need a quick fire something. But now you look, your looks about match your age, as you really have sort of this babushka look going on with this big quilted cloth covering you. Bagatha also seems to agree with you, though she doesn't speak out loud. She just sort of nods her head. Nothing about her also jumps out at you as different physically. And she seems alright. She seems moving around. She's even pulled out her little pack already and has begun removing a American Girl doll-sized sleeping roll and tent. You guys sort of look around, and you're in an area that you definitely don't recognize, but considering how a majority of you are injured, this wouldn't be the worst place to rest for a moment. The only unnerving thing is the enormous portal behind you that whirs and cracks with electricity every once in a while, but it doesn't seem like anyone's going in anytime soon. With that, though, DULUM, what did you get on your athletics check earlier? Okay, you with some force, you pick up the father to drag him through the portal, and you run into the same sensation where you feel yourself and the father pulled back, almost again by some sort of unseen wind that whips at your body, making it much more difficult to get into the portal than you thought. It doesn't feel magical, it almost just feels like a very strong wind, and just as you reach the edge of the portal, you sort of topple over as the father loses his strength.
Apologies, Father.
No, it's quite alright. I should tell you all now that your time with me, and he belches out another puddle of orange smoke. Your time with me is, well, it's kind that you haven't done what you need to already, but I accept my fate, and I bid you to just get it over with, because I have nothing to gain here. He sort of sighs and
we're gonna
kneels
get you
down
back.
in front of you. He doesn't respond. It's just kneeling down in front of you.
You are just another member of the group, needing to find their way home.
What member of a group? You're terrorists.
This group is not filled with terror.
We
Well,
maybe
you've
have
caused quite a bit of it.
two terrorists. The bomb was an accident.
Who's the second in your approximation?
I mean, Malagus.
Well, he's the first, but who's the second?
No, I know. That way I could avoid answering the question if I said Malagus. Honestly, I'm sorry, Father. I have failed you, for I was the one who ordered the bomb to be thrown. I'm sorry. We'll get you back to your people. And extra Shantea sacrifices.
You notice that the father sort of takes a beat to get his bearings, and he finally understands that you guys aren't actually going to kill him here, and all of a sudden he jumps to his feet and hurls an accusing finger right at you, Hyre, and says, you're the one who allowed this. You killed six of my finest, retired, elderly, sickly, on social security farmers who had done nothing wrong in their lives.
Father, I know. I'm so sorry.
Those men had children, and their children had children. What are you going to tell?
Everything was happening so fast.
What are you going to tell little granddaughter Agatha when her grandfather can't make it to the winter harvest this year, huh?
Too bad, so sad.
I'll tell them that they're going to Valhalla, where fallen warriors go, I think.
Oh, they don't want to go. I mean, if they go there, they remember Queen Riddice's name, and it's not so bad. But for the most part, you don't want to go to Valhalla.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Valhalla, they were farmers. They weren't warriors. They spent most of their day wandering about town, saying hi to all of their friends, who, again, were all very elderly, and played cards in the guardhouse. Their payment came from donations from town. This was functionally a charity for the elderly. And what did you do? You allowed a dirty bomb into our city.
Father Lucius, I'm going to cut you off here because, while I may
And
not
you-
know a lot about your world, I am a soldier and I'm familiar with the tactics. Just because you use child soldiers doesn't mean we're morally obliged to not kill your army. I'm a man of morals here, but you're the one who made them soldiers. And there are a few child soldiers in Valhalla I've talked at length about this with, so I'd just like you to check your perspective on the matter and not blame us for your mistakes.
He whirls his verbal fury at you now, pointing a finger. And you were supposed to be my ally. What happened to our deal, huh? What happened to the pact we made? What happened to the knowledge that I allowed you to have out of my library? Was that all for nothing? I assumed you would have picked me over these ingrates when push came to shove. We were friends.
I could consider this much better if you reminded me what our deal entailed exactly.
What the deal was, you removed the ass squids, or whatever they call themselves, out in the forest, and in return I allow you complete access to my private library for you to peruse.
Yeah, I don't
know
know.
this isn't the right time, but do we have an open door policy in the party?
I'd insist upon it.
Okay, the were-squid are alive. They're not were-squid.
Alive? You promised you'd kill them. You brought me one of their heads.
I can't speak to those actions.
Then what is it? You went out there and you made friends with them, huh? The disgusting water folk. What's wrong with you?
I did that the second
They were
time.
nicer than you were.
They were much nicer.
I offer civilization. I offer peace.
You wanted all of us who weren't who look like you to be killed. And frankly, I don't appreciate that.
If a creature like me were to come through a portal to your homeworld, would you not fillet them first and dissect them and ask questions later? It's the way.
No,
No,
It's always
we
been the way.
would.
we literally didn't do this when we had the opportunity.
You know, we were warriors, but we weren't barbaric. That's not the. Can someone get the scene out? I know I'm on, but this guy. Ugh. Someone get the scene out. Man, out of here.
He looks around just like filled with some sort of indescribable rage. He sort of aims it in every direction here, and eventually he just turns to DULUM and he goes, "And why are you trying to help me? What is your problem? If you're going to kill me, but if not, just leave me alone. I don't need your help."
The group never intended to kill you.
Well,
He seems to understand that, and his eyes kind of go wide, not necessarily in relief, but almost in shock, like he's not understanding what you're saying. He turns back toward all of you again, and then he goes, I can't understand this, and I refuse. I'll find my own way home, and when I do, I'll make sure a platoon of guards are sent this way to dispatch of you all." And he lumbers sort of painfully up out of his sitting position, and you see him turn toward the forest and begin to slouch off in some unknown direction.
Father, we can't protect you if you go away.
Protect me from what? The only thing I need protection from is you. Stay away from me.
You heard the sign. There are things out here, medical or constructs or whatever. Troublesome entities.
That sign said the worst thing out here is people, and I agree. He sort of marches off, not quickly in any means. You would guess about 10 feet per round. He sort of carries one of his legs with a limp. You're not sure if he had that before, but he sort of walks off fuming in a deep rage. Would anyone like to stop him?
Yeah, I'll start walking over to him.
Okay, he doesn't slow down or stop as you do.
This unit would implore you to please stop.
Stop what, huh? I could unleash some magic on you. Would you like that? Why am I even talking to you? You barely even count as a person.
This unit is not a person.
Good, then leave me alone. That's an order.
This unit needs you to stay with the group.
I don't care what you need. My priorities are more important.
This unit can assure you your priorities are not more important than this unit's.
He sort of looks dumbfounded at that. Is something wrong in your
cunty.
ship? Are you not the newest model? Does someone need to come shut you down?
Someone does, yes. However, this unit's purpose is still absolute. Please come.
Oh, I will.
That's your absolute.
I'll complete that right now.
You see, he seems to just be ignoring you. He continues walking off, but he sort of allows you to walk alongside him. He doesn't do anything to stop you.
This unit is a social robot. However, it will use force if necessary.
He doesn't respond and continues walking.
Damn, cunty.
This is your final warning, Father.
Malagus sort of yells out a sentence at you, DULUM. Let the man go. Do we really care about him? That was a dirty man and running a bastard church, and I see no reason why we should even keep him around. Let's let him walk off. Let him get eaten by monsters. What do we care? We're having a good time. Does anyone have any booze?
I thought
We're
you were
not even
leaving the
keeping you
party.
around.
Yeah, Malagus, you just said you're out of here. Why do you still care to vote?
Vote? Well, I just suppose you all helped me. I don't want you to get hurt, and I see this man as sort of a liability rather than a safety measure. What you're doing is you're just adding another dispensable, and he sort of gestures at the cow and Vinny and Bagatha that you just need to take care of, and this is a waste of your time.
I think I see you as a liability.
At least they don't lie to people.
I feel like if we keep you in the group, somebody's gonna get mad at something that you say. That's gonna get us in trouble.
I thought Malagus was out of the group regardless. Like, I thought he wanted to. I thought it was a mutual parting.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted one less huzzah, at least one less fine night of wine and beer and meat and all cheese and meat that we can find, just to celebrate my leaving, of course.
I feel like
you can celebrate on your own.
And if you're gonna be here, you can go ahead and shut up about it.
Malagus he clams up at that and he goes, oh, you don't all want to celebrate our success? I mean, you got me freed. That's damn worthwhile a whole night of celebration. I said I'm paying, didn't I?
You're expecting us to really
We
be
killed
really
4
excited.
people!
Yeah, also, you're expecting us to be really excited about having solved a problem we didn't even know about until, like, 2 minutes ago when you began acting like a madman.
Also, I think it was very clear from the beginning that our goal was to get ourselves home, help each other get home safe and sound, and that was really the goal of us, even risking going in this portal. And if this is what you want to be free, that's great. That's great for you. I'm happy for you. However, we have not finished our expedition of the mission yet, and if you don't want to embark on that, respect that. But we also just kind of want to rest. We want to think about where we are. Clearly, science said it's not safe. I don't think it's safe. I think we should come up with a game plan and not necessarily celebrate and get drunk.
Also, Malagus, I really don't know which of us you expected to be a big party person.
Malagus does sort of get a confused look on his face, almost like a sort of innocent surprise, as he goes, oh, well, I'm sorry, normally when I say drinks are on me, everybody sort of does a little huzzah. I usually get a lot of friends with that line, so I'm sort of at a loss. What can I do to celebrate with you all?
Orofeus looks genuinely surprised when Malagus says he has friends.
What can I do to celebrate with you all? I'll spend the night out here, that's fine. If you'd like, I could even take watch and keep an eye on us all, if you're worried about safety. And he nods at Jaya.
I suppose if you'd like to continue to travel with us, I'm not opposed to it, but it's not really like you're doing us some great favor. I think we'd all be traveling together to the city anyways.
He looks like butthurt by that.
Are you alright, Malagus? You're going through a large spectrum of emotions today. I'm not really sure what's going on with you.
I've just had a long day is all. I'm happy. I'm feeling good. I feel I get to be normal again. A little, surprised by how the reaction is to my excitement, but I suppose not everyone is interested in tavern scenes. What are you all interested in, huh? I would gladly go, we could go out for sort of a night drive, if you like, find a carriage.
Returning home to Queen Riddicy.
I think my biggest problem here is that I don't think you're realizing the situation that we're in. More so the sign that said that we're in, we can get eaten, it's not the safest, and...
Yes, but we spent a night out with merfolk. That might as well be the same thing. The merfolk were about equal in that field. I mean, they were honestly maybe scarier than what's unknown out here.
But they were very friendly and inviting to us.
And they didn't hurt us.
Whatever's out here is likely to be safe too, yes. Clearly whoever wrote this sign has good intentions at heart.
Yeah, well, that's why they warned us.
Yeah.
So then we've already have a friend. What's this fella's name? Did you say Zavrix? That's an odd name, but, could be something fun.
I say, personally, we can take a vote, whatever y'all want to do. Personally, I think we should try to set camp somewhere where we feel like, we could take turns taking a watch so that we can all get some rest, some much needed rest, might I say, for some specific folk. Well, I think it's given who needs it the most. But I think that would be our best of game plans.
I agree with Jaya. I think get some ways away from bunk down.
Malagus still seems just really confused by everything that's happening. And he goes, all right, yes, I'll take first watch then. I respect and admire you all for helping me with my problem that I suppose I didn't tell you about, and I feel the least I can do is take the first watch. And he sort of gives a hesitant nod.
You don't have to do it alone. We can do it in pairs.
Certainly, we should do it in pair. I don't mind taking the first watch as well.
I can take the second.
All right, cool. So you guys are going to make camp here for the night. You are still sort of in an odd spot. You don't really recognize where you are, but it's.
Well,
for
do we
those
want
of you
to camp here, or do we want to move somewhere else?
We want to move. I think we should move down the road. Maybe an hour or two of walking, just so we're not right next.
Yeah. Okay.
Did the sign mention which way the citadel was?
You notice it does not.
Do I see like any footprints that go anywhere, or like any trails?
Give me a survival check.
I can't survive. I can't do it. You making an old man do a survival roll. Oh, but you eat your fucking words. I rolled a fucking 22. Yet again.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make you wish you never asked me to roll.
Old man yells at clouds. All right, 22. That's pretty good. Before I give you the debrief on what before I give you the debrief on what you learned from your survival check, you noted. I just wanted to mention that Orofeus, you mentioned going down the road a bit. You notice there definitely is no road here. You really seem to be sort of in the thick underbrush of somewhere.
Gotcha. Sorry, I meant it metaphorically speaking.
Of course. No worries, just double checking that. So you sort of lean down, Jaya, and you look at the ground and you look around, admiring the landscape to determine what all had been here before. And you gleam some footprints. True enough, there seem to be several. Looks like 3 or 4 sets of very heavy boot prints that look to have padded around this area in the mud. They did large circles, and now that you notice them, you realize that these seem to have been here a while doing several things, but they do pat around the sign as well that you see. They all head off in a sort of northeast direction. This is somewhat similar to the direction the father walked off to, just randomly.
Do I feel naturally pulled towards this direction, or does it feel like any other direction?
You don't feel naturally pulled in any direction.
Okay.
Speaking
Really
of the
quick.
father, just to pull it back there, DULUM, the father has continued to ignore all of your warnings. What would you like to do?
I would like to cast Hold Person on him.
Okay, what kind of check is that?
I think.
It is Wiz, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's get the good old whiz from the good old father.
I'd
What
like
was your
to.
class again?
Sorcerer. I also want to use my last source damage.
Okay, all right. Okay, there's the first one. Sorry, I did this weird, so I'm gonna have to just do it twice.
No, you're good.
Oh wait, so he rolls at disadvantage though, right? So he definitely just failed. Okay, cool. All right, you hold him in his steps. He freezes, and you see the smoke sort of stop in his mouth as he was about to cough out more, and his sort of croaks out a wheeze that sounds like his lungs are really hurting. He tries to talk to you, but it just comes out through gritted teeth. What the fuck are you doing?
Apologies, Father. This is for your good. And then I want to
He kinda
tie a rope
wiggles.
around his hands.
Okay, nice. Give me a sleight of hand check for that.
I rolled a 10. Wait, let me build for success. My last. Oh, an 11.
You are built for success. All right, you tie a pretty solid knot around his hands. For what is effectively an old man, you're pretty sure that you're not. You probably didn't need to make it that strong. He didn't look like a particularly strong guy.
Okay, and then I'll start dragging him back to the group.
Nice. Does hold person make him float, or does it just sort of like freeze him in place?
I think it just makes him paralyzed.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can't move.
Okay, got it. So you are just full on dragging him, huh? You drag him back. Yeah, I mean, he's not happy about it. He's continues to sort of curse and writhe under your like hands. He doesn't at all seem happy with what's happening, but he's doing it. So you pull him back. The group sees him come. Malagus sort of throws up his hands and goes, "DULUM, my friend, I really owe you a lot. I'm sorry about all the harsh things I said earlier. I realized you really are part of the team. You're basically one of us."
Thank you, Malaga.
All right. Jaya, did you pick out a way for us to walk?
Not really. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of path on where to go. We could go in this direction.
Are you guessing?
Do you guys have any better ideas?
Oh.
Not particularly.
Listen, how about for now, we take note of the direction we came from, our surroundings. We go about, let's say, maybe a few meters from here, set up camp. Then afterwards in the morning, when we're all refreshed, we can reevaluate where we want to go, look around a little bit more, and from there, we can really tackle this head on.
That sounds good to me.
Alrighty then.
Sounds like a good plan.
March. But real quick before we start marching, I want to check up on my little tiny baby boy Gravy.
Okay, Gravy has finally sort of come back to himself. He's come back to his senses a bit, and you see that he is still not like doing great. You think he was sort of dazed by whatever happened.
Yeah.
And not that that's bad for a cow. You just think he was probably really startled by what happened, and in his little cow brain he couldn't comprehend what was happening. But he seems better now, and that red glow that you all definitively recall being quite bright in the area under the forest and nearby, that red glow is sort of gone now. It seems to have dissipated.
I would like to keep track of the days up until it possibly starts again to see if it's on a timer or something per each plane he hops in.
I'll let you know the period cycle.
Aye. For now, I just want to make sure that I'm around him, that he has a familiar face and scent to be around, and I'm sure we all are sort of familiar to him.
Yeah. He as a cow would, he doesn't show a lot of emotions one way or another.
I know in my heart. It's okay.
You know in your heart. Yeah. That's the important part. But that cow's gonna fucking eat you. Excuse me.
Oh, he loves me.
He loves meat. Eating it.
Have we fed him yet?
No.
Have we seen what he eats?
No.
People.
Do I see any fauna or any flora around?
A lot of unusual flora and fauna. Yes, there is a wide variety of flora and fauna here that strike you as nothing you've really seen before. Do you want to just take a guess? You'll have to roll a nature check at disadvantage to determine what around here could be edible.
Okay, nature. Ooh, -1. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I probably I got an unnatural 1.
Unnatural. See, that is just odd,
Yeah, that one makes me think.
Unless somebody was helping me. Blink. Well, I guess I can't undo my roll.
Why are you blinking like that?
Are you alright?
You look weird.
Can somebody look at our surroundings to see what might be edible for my baby Gravy?
I'll look.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot as well. Even though, I'm near death. We haven't been talking about it very much, but... Oh, wait, is it survival or nature check?
Well, this is a nature check.
Nature.
And I'm going to need that at disadvantage because none of you have been here before.
Damn it. I rolled the wrong die.
All right, so you guys
Can you look?
roll. Both of you we got an 11 and a 12. You guys look around at the flora here, and it sort of looks alien to you all. None of it looks very familiar. You could sort of pick out like an unassuming bush that you're like, this doesn't look poisonous.
Oh, DULUM on top.
Dulum with our best roll at a 15. Dulum, you can identify at least 3 plants here that you're like, yeah, these are not poisonous and likely have the nutrient value that a cow might need.
Here.
You're not sure about, unless you want to start biting stuff.
You know what? I'll take a bite out of it first.
Like, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
As a reminder, I have used my last healing spell.
I have 13 health.
I have 5.
Oh yeah, 13.
That's pretty good. You have a small bout of acid reflux, and that's about it.
I think it's safe enough for Mr. Cow. And I hand it towards him to see if he'll eat it.
The cow does not react, eating out of your hand, but it does sort of walk up to the bush meagerly and begin snacking on it.
Yippee! Maybe we could potentially cook these down, and maybe that would help with the acid reflux. But it could also just be old man syndrome.
It's just old man syndrome.
One of you guys can take a closer look at it, if you'd like. 'Cause I assume none of us have rations.
No, I think we do.
I can assume that each of you guys, well, unless you come from unusual circumstances, Dulum probably doesn't have rations, and Orofeus, you probably don't have rations.
I don't know how many we would have because we stayed at the Squidward place.
True. Actually, no, sorry, that's true. All of you guys would have rations. Also, Orofeus, you would have rations. I misspoke.
Okay, yeah, I was
Okay.
like, this bitch doesn't eat.
Yeah, my bad. Misspoke. Yeah, so you guys all have food that you are comfortable eating.
Tay.
Good food, good eating is available.
Giddy. Alright, how have we walked, how far have we walked?
You guys walk for about an extra hour or so, and during that time, I assume the hold person on the father releases, and he weakly, I would say, not with a lot of effort behind it. It doesn't seem like he's doing this to survive. He seems like he's just fighting it just to fight it. Sort of thrashes against the bonds that you've made for him.
I'll I'll be behind.
Okay, you push him along. He doesn't say a word and sort of curses familiar threats toward construct kin that you've heard before, you know? You stupid, soulless, clay-born, disgusting, metallic, no free thinking, goddamn cyborg people.
God, imagine not being a free thinker.
He continues like that for a spell. It's rhetoric you've probably read about. You've probably never heard that kind of stuff before in your home, but it still sort of strikes you as someone who is in pain and probably feeling a little intolerant.
Me when I'm in pain and feeling a little intolerant.
Yes, though. So you have now an hour between you and the portal. The distant sound of it has disappeared, and you can no longer see its high. The portal on this end is also very tall for some reason. You can no longer see its height on the horizon anymore. Instead, you guys are entrenched in this sort of somewhat dense forest. It feels otherworldly to you, and you have yet to see anything larger than an insect. You've seen no mammals or birds, but you continue to hear chirping and chittering in the distant forest. Nothing else, though. While you guys walk, could I get a perception check from everyone?
Oh, natural 1! This bitch legally blind.
You said perception?
Yeah, I need you to perceive some stuff from me, baby girl.
Oh, I'm just so focused. I'm so enthralled by gravy.
You're enthralled by gravy? What did Hyre? Oh, no way!
Wait, how many ones? We set 3 ones?
Not one. A 2
And a
and a
3.
3.
Fucking me.
Okay, well, can Malagus roll?
Or yeah, Vinny and Bagatha, they can still roll.
All right. Well, yeah. Nobody asked them to look out for stuff.
Oh, I assumed they would. You know, this is
They're
survival.
idiots. You've
They're
spoken
idiots.
to Vinny, right?
Okay, well,
You
I
heard
would
him?
tell them then if I
This
thought
is
they
the
were
last
fucking
time I
capable.
let my corrupt DM roll for me.
That is crazy. I cannot. I'd like to apologize for that.
We're gonna
I'll
die.
roll for Malagus right now. Hold on.
Don't you just want to call him Magalus for some reason?
No, his name is Malagus. Okay, Malagus got a 15. All right, cool. So the Party continues. You guys continue on. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Malagus sort of goes like, after a second, he goes, "Who said that?"
Those guys are really cracking up, you guys. I don't know if we can. No one said anything, Malagus. Are you feeling all right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, that was weird. And he scratches his head, and he looks really down. You notice Malagus just sort of has this air of like somebody who was really on top of the world just a second ago and got brought down, not for reasons he understands, and he's still coming to terms with that.
Don't gaslight me into feeling bad for him.
He's so weird.
He's not used to these kind of situations.
Oh, wow.
He's
Get
not
used
used
to it,
to these
buddy.
kind of mental health issues.
Oh, he'll get used to it.
I mean,
How
there
much
was a
do you-
member in the party who would like help people if they were in mental anguish, but like, you know, it's just not really open for Malagus anymore. Kind of
You're
burns some
cutting off
bridges.
Malagus?
Kind of burns some bridges.
God, can't believe we're just cutting him off.
I like how much we've all switched platforms on Malagus, because last session I hated him so bad, but now I'm like, he's just a crazy guy. And Orofeus kind of likes him again.
You kind of like him?
Well, I think he's, like, losing his gourd, but I don't know. He seems less evil.
I've never hated him.
Always been a firm Malagus supporter in chat.
Oh yeah.
I just find him a little bit annoying.
Just
He's like,
a wee
wham,
bit.
wham, wham. Why not me? Why no me time? Why no me? Why no me celebrate? Why not celebrate me? Bitch, we're gonna die!
What's feeling hateful back there?
When
Well,
I
hey-
celebrate, I will fucking tell you why.
That's a lot of hate coming from over there.
It's
Yeah,
not
damn.
hate, it's more so frustration.
So you got
A disappointment. I
Yeah,
thought
oh,
he
yeah.
was gonna be more survival-esque. He is not.
He seemed so suave at first.
You thought that?
I thought he was cool.
Hell no.
Now he's a mess.
Classless civvy.
Oh. Learn?
He's not a rogue. He has no class. He's a civilian.
What do you mean classless?
Classless. Flameless.
No
That was
bitches.
the most gamer speech I've ever heard.
God, you're such a civvy.
You said it so casually.
I don't even know if that's an actual term.
How did you know?
I don't know.
So funny.
That sounds like something like a cop would say.
Yeah. Are you a cop?
No.
We got a copper. Anyway, so returning now. You guys don't see anything unusual in the forest, and after about an hour and a half of walking, you find a sort of nestled clearing in the forest where this bruised purple grass beneath you opens up into a field with pretty good visibility in all directions, and you think this would probably be a good place to camp for the night just because you'd have a good view if anything came close.
This also means we're more exposed to anything that sees us.
You
Alright.
notice there are no cliff sides, there's no mountainous terrain, it's very flat here, and you have yet to find any, like, hold area where you could have a back to you. So, you sort of look at this area, and Malagus goes, well, I suppose it's between this and, finding a thick grove of trees. Do you have a preference?
I haven't really. Well, I've done a decent amount of camping. Can I make a check to see what I think is better? Because Maisie actually doesn't really know what the strategy would be for that.
Sure, yeah.
With me and my military, can I make a check as well?
Yeah, sure. You guys both make a check.
What check?
I would give
Survival?
this a survival check. This smells like a survival check to me. A survival check?
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
Fuck, I got 7. No, I got a 7. No.
18, baby.
Okay, 18 is good.
Eat it, 7.
Fuck you. Fuck.
So hateful.
Me when I'm 6.
I heard you're afraid of him. Is it because 7, 8?
Whoa.
Don't tell nobody. So you think, let me think, with that roll, you feel as though a grouping of trees would probably be safer, if for no other reason than at least you can have like a space where you can put your back up against something to sleep, because it, at least for you as a soldier, it feels sort of uncomfortable to sleep way out in the open like this. That's just, anyone knows that's how you get caught, sleeping with your pants down, so to speak. So
Understood.
you guys can walk on for another 5 or so minutes and find a better spot that fits your needs. And at this point, you guys are all pretty exhausted from the walking now. And with a lot of you at very low health, it's pretty apparent that the group is ready for a rest. So exhausted, you all barely build the camp. The father sort of passes out in a pile by himself. You see, he was also pretty injured. Hyre had given him a decent amount of healing back, but the father was not in a great spot, and it looks like he was just sort of holding on by sheer will, hoping that no one would notice that he was not feeling his best.
Okay.
So with that then, you all get ready for a long rest. Would anyone like to do anything before you bed?
Mr. DM, I think you already know.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a religion check from
Aye,
Mr.
aye.
Hyre? Valia.
I got a 12.
12, that's a good score. Okay, you sort of feel the presence of your god in the air around you. What would you like to say?
Mother, I'm sorry for I have sinned. I'm sorry for I have sinned. I didn't mean to kill all those people. Please forgive me. Please. Just give me a little while longer. I won't mess up next time. Please, please, please. Yeah, that's the general vibes.
Okay. After some begging and pleading, you sort of get this, not a verbal response, but it's this feeling of sort of contempt and agreeance with everything you're saying. You feel this presence in your head that just bears down upon you for killing people wantedly with no thought. You feel as though you're no better than the slime around you.
Great! And then Hyre will go to bed trying. Sounds good.
The end of your prayer does seem to have like a sort of positive spin where you sort of feel like if you do a good turn the next day, you feel as though your god will look down upon you and smile. A tit for a tat kind of thing.
Tea for the tatty.
A tea for tea kind of thing.
Whoa.
I would also like to pray.
I would also like a tea for. Wait.
Wait.
I mean, we're just handing them out.
If we could just sign up.
Jaya, give me a religion check.
I'm gonna roll this so good. I'm gonna roll it so good. You're gonna be so jealous. It's gonna be so good. And you're gonna be so jealous.
Tell me.
I guess
18.
Okay,
Like-
18, that's pretty good. Why are you so mad about
I mean,
18?
I've heard better.
I would like to note that it was a 19 before.
It was a 19 that turned into an 18. I see why you were upset now.
Hmm.
Well, you sort of reach out and you feel, again, you feel in a very calm spiritual presence around you as you reach out into the void. What would you like to say?
I don't really want to let them know this. I don't really know what kind of strategy I want to come up with. There's just so many options. I'm really trying to be strong. I'm really trying. I'm trying. But this does have me in a bit of predicament. I can tell that they look up to me. I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think they just need a little bit of leadership in terms of,
terms of
I just feel like I need some guidance on how to guide these people and myself.
You sort of feel this energy in your head, this like sense of courage, as for a moment you feel yourself growing confident in your skills as a planner, and you sort of get this feeling that there is someone out there is telling you that your planning will get you through it and that you have the experience to do what you need to do.
Amen.
And the feeling sort of floats away, and you're left with this feeling of contentment and sort of the need to like you want to go out there and like get something done.
The need
Motivated.
for speed.
So with that, anyone else like to do anything before you all go to bed?
I just settle in for my watch.
I'll set up a couple of alarms around us.
Okay. You set up the alarms. Coincidentally, as you finish setting up the alarms, you hear another alarm blare out from your chest. This is audible to all of you guys in this campsite. Now, as you hear this, it seems to echo right out of DULUM, and it sort of like gives away your position for a second. Malagus looks really nervous, and he goes, shut the fuck up!
I'll try to dampen it with my hands in the leaves.
You dampen it. You don't get any other feeling. It's just the alarm. It sounds exactly like the one that came up earlier, and it feels like it totally would give away your position if something was watching you. But you guys didn't see anything earlier, so you feel fine.
That's good. Also on the alarms, I want to have it ping me if the father also breaches them.
Got it. That is good. So with that, the first watch commences. Malagus and Oro stay up. Malagus sort of seems off-put, and he sort of shuffles over to the other side of camp to take watch on the opposite side of where you're looking without a word.
I want to sit down next to him. I'll just walk across.
Okay. What do you want?
You seem upset.
Well, yes, of course I'm upset. I don't know. I sort of made a big accomplishment, but I suppose none of you knew it would be a big accomplishment, but I don't know. I was sort of expecting a sense of camaraderie for a job well done, but instead we just sort of slogged through mud this afternoon and fell asleep in a ditch here, and I don't know. I thought I would treat you all to ale, but nobody wanted that, and I'm just a little off-put. Sorry, that's all.
Can I give you some feedback on why I think it went the way it did? Because I see that you're disappointed.
Yes, of course.
But when you first announced to us your success, you phrased it more as though it was something you'd gotten over on us. You know, you sort of said it expecting we'd be mad or resistant or upset by it, which makes it hard for us to share in your victory. Because I'm still trying to figure out what you did that we weren't supposed to know about. Do you understand?
Yes, I suppose I understand.
I guess also, in your sharing of your success, which, you know, I'm glad you had success, honestly. I think you're a good man, somehow. But it's really just made us wonder more about what it all is you're not telling us. It sort of highlighted the fact that we don't really know you, and you have all these hidden agendas that you're not sharing with us, which is more an unsettling thing than a building camaraderie.
I see. So you're saying I should have been more open with you in the first place, but I couldn't have. That would have ruined this plan. I suppose you're
Why
right.
would that have ruined your plan, that you wanted to leave the plane when you were working with a group of other people who wanted to leave the plane?
Well, yes, but my plan was so much more intelligent and secretive and well thought out.
I'm not seeing the intelligent part of it. I see the secretive part of it. Intelligent and well thought out aren't apparent to me. Because remember, we almost left you in the material plane because you were lying so much. And I feel like if you'd just been up front and told us you wanted to leave.
Yes, I should have. I'm sorry. And he sort of leans his head down toward you for a second.
I lean back.
Okay. He jerks back up and goes, well, I mean, I don't need to tell you people anything. I did it. I fooled them all and I escaped with my head held high. That's what matters, and no one can get me down from that. I suppose I should maybe just celebrate by myself then, if none of you are party people, like you said.
I suppose you might. If you want to tell me about who all you got it over and tricked, would that make you feel good? You know, to relive your high highs?
Yes, I suppose. You see, there's this, I would have called them a gang of thugs when I first met them, but I suppose they, are a little bit more potent than that. I ran into some bad dealings with a group of, well, a group of thugs.
What's the name of them?
Well, I don't think they had a name, but their leader was this man that was completely human, you know, of all standard issue, likely just from one of the greater cities, but was this man named Gree.
Agree. All right.
Yes, Gree. And Gree was called sort of a high minister of this organization that I suppose would have a name. I suppose I never learned it because I got in and out very quickly as I sort of put myself on the bad end of the people who Gree was not agreeing with. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, and I appreciate the play on words.
Well, thank you. I thought it was quite funny. And you see, it turns out Gree here has a sort of what I would consider a little cult of worshippers who followed him and, bowed at his every word and thought of him as some sort of important person. And because of that, he had a lot of influence. So when I tried to swindle one over on him, turns out I thought I would just skip town and escape all the scrutiny of his ire. But turns out in the next town over, there was an offshoot of his little cult that came at me in the dark and attacked me in an alley, and I left with, and you see him roll up his sleeve now, and he shows off a huge welt, a sort of scar that looks deep into his arm. Not like a cut, but almost like a permanent bruise that makes his arm look slightly deformed.
Oh, well, damn, that looks like it hurt.
Yes, they came at me with these strange clubs that were arcane and enchanted to hit me harder, and practically broke my arm in several different places. It took a master healer weeks to fix. And I skipped town to the next town, assuming it was just a fluke, and there they were again, and it was over and over again. And finally, I just thought I'd charade as some sort of bastard, impotent sort of man that.
A charade, yes.
Yes, and I thought I would find some unwitting sort of fools to travel with for a moment, and I realize now that would have been you all, but I suppose I didn't mean for it to be, because you've actually been quite nice to me. This was sort of the idea that I had, and I really wanted to fulfill it.
All right. I see. Sorry, I'm processing that. Well, I see. So, how long were you on the run then?
I was, after my initial debacle with Gree, I made my escape, and it's been 9 months since then.
That's a long time to be on your own.
Well, I've never been one for communal living. I'm not much of a team player, but I suppose you could have guessed that.
I suspected such. So your plan this whole time was to enter another plane, but how did you know when and where a portal would open?
When you say this, he starts to look a little uncomfortable, and he turns away.
Oh.
All right, then.
Listen, I just had a friend, I should say, who gave me some inside information, that's all.
Was it Father Lucius?
No, I am rather unfond of that gentleman. I really do hope that we kill him off tomorrow. I'm sort of surprised the robot didn't. I know you can hear me, DULUM. Finish him in the morning.
I don't think we're a killing hostages type of group. But was it, I want to take off my goggles, and then I say, was it, and then I sort of point at myself.
Yeah, he sort of gives you an odd look. Roll me an insight check.
Not a good roll. 7.
Okay, he's hard to read. Seems to be, just difficult to read right now. Perhaps it's the low firelight half illuminating his face that makes it hard. But he sort of turns away and he goes, listen, I'm sorry to have led you into a part of my charade. I really should have been more thoughtful, but I thought you'd all be happy to celebrate with me. I realized maybe I got off on the wrong foot with you all. Maybe I could start over tomorrow? And he gives you a sort of weak smile.
No, I don't think it's too late. I mean, I actually sort of like you now that you're being a little more honest now, I think. And I think if you share with the group what you shared with me, I mean, you're not the only one here on the run, technically speaking.
Well, I don't want to share this with the group, but would you be a doll and do it for me, honey? And he gives you a smile.
Honey?
Don't use any of those words to describe me again, and it's all right. Technically, I'm not on the run, but Iceland is on the run, and I pull out the piece of paper that says she's wanted for being a member of the Gunpowder Association. The fucking NRA. I pull out the piece of paper.
He looks at that, and you notice he recognizes it, and he says, "Oh, the Gunpowder League. I didn't know you were a part of that."
I didn't. Not me. Just to be clear, I want to keep that line clear. It's not me, but Iceland is apparently. Are you a member? I saw you had that TNT. Did you make it yourself, or did you buy it?
No, I bought it from a member of the league. I don't think it was you. It was a many seasons ago that I purchased that. It was homemade and rather cheap, so I'd like to think it wasn't you, because I imagine you have better skills than that.
So just again, I'm not trying to be touchy about this, but it's not me, it's Iceland. Just making that real clear. I have no idea how good her quality of thing is. So, just to change the conversation a bit, but I was wondering, what type of warrior exactly are you? At first I thought you were sort of an assassin type, but then with the dynamite I thought maybe you were using bombs or something.
You notice he also sort of shies away from this question and turns back toward the forest, and he goes, listen, I think that's enough for tonight. I'm sorry, I don't want to get too buddy-buddy when I've clearly been shown to be a sort of an asshole to you all. I'll take it slow, alright? You don't have to give me these pleasantries when I know you don't care. Let's just finish the rest of the watch in silence.
You're really not good at this being less of an asshole thing, but sure, we can be quiet.
He turns away now. Give me a perception check for your watch.
Okay. I put my goggles back on.
Can I also roll?
Yes, have you been awake for this?
Yeah, pretty much whenever I sleep, I can still see and hear.
Cool.
Holy shit, the net.
That's fucked up.
Okay, you guys don't see anything unusual. At some point, a sort of beautiful, iridescent dragonfly flies overhead, and you notice it, and it's very pretty. But that's about all that interesting things happen. Nothing unusual appears.
Since he won't talk to me anymore, when I see the dragonfly, can I take out my notebook and draw it? Or Iceland's notebook, I should say.
Sure. You pull out Iceland's notebook. This is the same notebook with the stuffed full of those blueprints and strange words.
I just want to add a drawing of this dragonfly, and I'm trying to notice every detail of it so I can remember it and recreate it for.
Okay, you do so. Just roll me a sleight of hand check just for fun on that.
Okay.
It's a nice picture. As you guys sort of finish up your watch, nothing goes poorly. You go to bed. Jaya, you wake up for your watch. Was anyone else gonna join Jaya on his watch?
I mean, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Please, I'm an
I'll
old
do it.
man.
I'll join.
The two of you stay up. You keep out watch.
Play.
You guys want to give me a perception check?
No.
21.
It looks like we got 2 natties.
Why so many dice? There's
Yeah,
so
they're
many dice
natural.
that just exploded on me. Oh, nice. That's crazy. Did you both get nat ones?
No. I would just say
Oh, I got it.
that.
Well, I got a 21, so...
Oh, with the nat one, DULUM did just fall asleep.
Yeah, I did.
A bug crawled over the eye hole.
I was so attentive for the first watch, and the second watch I was like, this is not worth it.
You were like, there was nothing here. I didn't see shit. Hyre, with your 21, you see on your watch, the only thing that sort of jumps out at you is there's like a sort of off to the side of your camp, you see like a tumbleweed go by at some point during the night, but it seems to be moving, almost like with little legs, just running aimlessly across the forest grounds.
That's
Great. I don't think that's grounds to wake up my party. I'll point it out to the Sarge.
Okay. Jaya is asleep. You wake him up.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
I thought-
I don't know what came over me. Normally I do really good in these situations. I promise.
No, it's okay. It's our first time, and we've had a long day.
It's been such a long day, and it feels like, if it's not the arthritis, it's another thing, and it's just my age. I just really kept it.
I'm sorry about your disease.
It just
I
comes
think a lot of
of
us-
age. It just means I'm gonna die soon. It's okay.
We're affected today. To be honest, I couldn't really sleep earlier. My own heart was a bit too loud. It was nightmarish, honestly.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, I hope we can
so I
both
get
see
it a
our
little bit.
families before we die. I would like to see my kids and my wife.
You have a kids and wife?
Yeah.
What are their names?
I guess I could tell you. I guess you won't ever really. Well, maybe you'll meet them. Well, I don't
I mean,
really know.
What about your
Your children, you said.
Well, Milo and Vera, I miss them dearly.
Milo and Vera?
Are you judging?
No, I was just making sure I got them right.
Those are
I'm sorry.
really cute names.
Thank you.
Milo the little hippo is so fucking cute.
Oh, I don't know. I think that's why I've been so attached to this cow. It's just that it's a paternal instinct in me, you know. I cared very deeply for my kids and my wife as well. It's just, you know, in my nature to care, to nurture.
And now this cow.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, it's very brave of you. I'll admit I was not a big fan of the cow, but the cow seems to be better since going through the portal.
Yeah. I hope my kids are doing good.
I'm sure your kids are doing great without you. I'm sure you taught them to be quite the warriors themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your wife's name? Guess I'm just curious. I've never really had this thing before. How is it? Good?
Had what before?
You know, when you love someone as your equal.
Hyre lonely?
Hyre
Never that.
lonely.
Don't worry, she's not my equal.
I know what she's worth.
I was just wondering. It's not a big deal.
Her name is Zara. She's beautiful. Oh my god, I miss
She sounds beautiful.
her.
It's a wonderful
I
name.
miss her. Okay, I don't want to.
Have you heard the tale of not Oedipus? Oh my god. Who's the Odysseus?
Orpheus. I know him.
Orpheus. Final answer.
Orpheus.
Eurydice.
I'm not familiar with that tale.
You seem something like that. You know, a traveler, lost, trying to return home. Didn't you come out here with trying to kill yourself? And now you want to go home? I'm glad you've had second thoughts.
That's just the way of my people. I don't necessarily agree with it. I've been trying to, you know, change their way of thinking, and you know, I have a little group of friends that, you know, we've been trying to change the way of thinking instead of fighting senselessly, you know, just for the purpose of fighting. Fight with the purpose, fight with strategy. And you know, we do fight with the purpose. We don't just go into war for no reason. But a lot of them have the mindset of like, you know, the only honorable way to die is in battle, when that doesn't necessarily have to be true. Which is why a lot of our last bands are kind of young, like maybe 20, 30s.
20 years old?
Late 20s, early 30s. And so, you know.
And how old are you?
66.
Oh my, you've long outlived your brethren.
Oh yeah, because I don't throw my life away senselessly. I've been trying to fight battles strategically, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Actually, I don't think that's the right saying for the situation. But anyways.
Well, I'm sure we could use your strategy. I think our strategy might have perhaps failed a bit today, but I guess, you know.
Yeah, I've been trying to dabble in some religious affairs, and you know, I've read a few books.
Read a few books.
Just a couple.
I might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, or the sharpest crayon in the box, or the most. you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel better, I don't talk to people so good.
I can read.
You
I
can
can in fact read.
Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, I am proud of that.
Oh, me too.
Just couldn't let him have it.
No, I didn't mean anything by it.
No, it's okay. But
No, you're right. I don't know how to read.
Back to your original question.
Oh yeah. Your beautiful, wonderful wife, Sarah.
Beautiful. Being in love, I hope you do have the pleasure of being in love one day. It is something I would fight tooth and nail for. I would give up everything just to see her and my kids. And it's just living with a higher purpose of feeding your family, wanting a better life for them, and wanting to see them in a society that doesn't lead them to getting killed without living out their life and actually living out a good life instead of. I lived an okay life, but I just arguably, someone my age just in their eyes is worthless and it's a lot.
Jaya,
Hey, well, maybe that's part of what you're doing out here, trying to find a place for you and your family to move to, perhaps.
There are a group of us who are trying to, sway the people's thinking, but we'll see. We'll see how that is playing out. And sometimes I try to play along just because I do get frustrated, and that's why I was kind of going in at it and being like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die for the battle. Die for the cause. But that's just not me.
See.
I just can't keep that up. It's just not me. It's not what I want.
I mean, at this age, you probably can't die. So many battles won.
Yeah.
Triple the life expectancy of your people. That's insane.
I don't know how old we're supposed to live to. This is kind of a dice roll for me. I don't know when I'm gonna die. This is kind of a science experiment too. Who knows? Maybe I'll live to 100. Maybe I'll die tomorrow.
Well, you won't die tomorrow if I'm there.
You alive, damn it.
Jaya needs a fucking DNR.
Well, I'm glad you have something you're working for that purpose. It
Thank you.
Must be nice.
Do you not have
Anyways.
a purpose? Do you not have I thought you were traveling and such for your god.
Yeah, just it feels like yours is based off love, affection, and mutual respect. Those aspects sound nice.
Do you not feel like you and your god have love, affection, and mutual respect?
No, of course, my God has done everything for me. It's not the same.
I think in certain ways, religion can be fulfilling in that sense. I mean, I haven't delved too much into it. I'm still kind of, picking apart here and there. I did see a man named, I believe it was Tyr. He's pretty interesting. Reading up on him a little bit, but I think there should be a mutual understanding. I don't think it should be anything that feels tasking or like a to-do list.
No, I didn't mean that. I'm happy to be here, with all of you. It seems we might have a long road ahead.
Nice. All right, you guys have a fulfilling conversation.
No, you're having deep talks over there.
I know, it was good. Very, very healthy. A lot of coming to terms with important things. Jaya, you especially feel.
Ways.
Yeah, I believe it. Jaya, you feel especially content. I assume you sort of have that sort of old man rambling affectation. You lull people into nice conversations with you, and you guys have you continue your watch, and nothing else happens. On this night, Orofeus, you do manage to fall asleep.
Wow! Thank fuck.
You have a dreamless, sort of like, not a fully deep sleep. You sort of felt like you were conscious the whole time, but then all of a sudden it was morning. One of those kind of sleeps.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, great. That's great.
But you definitely fell asleep.
Okay. That's nice.
When I have sleeps like those, I dissociate in the morning, and it takes me like 10 hours to actually feel real.
I believe you always have sleep cycles.
I'm gonna cycle all over your sleep, buddy.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Yeah, some
I'm
people
on
have
my
cycles.
cycle.
Some cycles are better than others.
What cycle are you on? So you guys all wake up the next morning, having slept well, and at least for the majority of you, you slept. As you sort of all come to consciousness, right in the early sort of, the light around you gets a little brighter, and the forest sort of chirps to life again. DULUM, you are sort of startled by your alarm going off.
I'll look over to it.
You see the priest inchworming his way off of the site that you had built.
Please cease your movement.
He stops immediately, hearing your voice, and then sort of rolls over and groans loudly and says, "Just get it over with. Kill me."
This group is not going to kill you. Rather, return
Torture
you
is
home.
illegal, you know.
This is not torture. If you cooperate, this will stop.
Ah.
Thank you. Shall we all proceed?
Sounds good to me.
Alright.
DULUM, are you gonna do that every morning or
Do what?
the alarm?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have to? I feel like as an old man, I already get up a little too early, a little earlier than I should. You know, I want to sleep in, but I can't.
Yes, if you would like assistance waking up, this droid can help. However, the group needs to get moving.
Why is that?
We do not
What?
have much time.
What?
Much time until what?
Oh, what do you mean?
Shall we continue?
Can you elaborate?
Sure, what would you like to know?
Dulum, could you help me out by letting me know what is our time limit?
Yes, as of now, we have approximately 40 hours
Until what?
till we need to all leave.
Could you help me and remind me why we need to all leave in 40 hours?
Sure. In 40 hours, I will not be able to assist you.
But
Help me and tell me why you can't assist me in 40 hours.
Oh, well.
DULUM, are you okay?
This
You
droid will
okay?
have its core removed in approximately 40 hours.
What?
What?
What? By who?
The higher ups.
We can stop that from happening, Dulum. It sounds violent. Would you be okay?
Yes, this droid will be quite alright. If not better.
I'll be honest, DULUM, I don't wish to see your core removed.
It seems to be faulty.
Ooh, what gives you that impression?
Have you not heard the alarms?
I mean, yes, but
I suppose I didn't have a good perspective for. Is this a normal practice among your people?
No, actually. This robot has never heard of such occurrences.
See?
and what happens after your core is taken out?
It should be replaced.
And
Okay.
you'll be alright?
Unsure.
Unsure. Okay, because before. Okay. Dulum, I'm thinking perhaps. Do you want your core replaced?
If it makes this droid more effective, yes.
Well,
Shall we continue?
I guess that's that then.
Suppose so.
Yes.
As we're walking, can I try to fall into step next to Hyre and be like, "Is that normal for his kind? It sounds like bad, akin to death, right?"
I mean, I don't really know much about the species, but yes, it does appear akin to death. But I mean, if the core is truly replaced, then I don't know. Perhaps we could talk to this person, whoever comes to replace his core, investigate some.
And is the core is that like his soul or just an organ?
I guess I was thinking that it would more be like a power core, but if it is truly the core of perhaps him in all ways, then perhaps we should try to stop this from happening.
I really have no idea. I didn't know that. I'm not familiar with the term power core, or really any of this situation. I've gathered that he's not a normal being, just from what you all have said, but I
That
don't
is
know.
certainly true.
I think DULUM is
Um,
right in the sense that we should get moving along. At least, like, get to the city, you know, and maybe there we can inquire a little bit more about the situation and make a better plan when we're not actively in danger.
That is a good point.
On that, you see Malagus throws his tent flap open and goes, "DULUM will die?" What do you
No,
mean
we
by
can't
that?
have DULUM die again.
I mean, can't we just buy another droid? How much did you pay for this one?
I don't. None of us paid anything for him.
I want to give
Shit, this
Malagus
one's free?
like a look that's like, this is not the approach to be less of an asshole. Like,
This was a free droid. Goddamn, we can't let him die. That's like free money.
we just found him. He doesn't belong to us.
Well, DULUM, who do you belong to?
This droid belongs to the long-dead Primus.
Ah, long dead, see? So, up for sale, I assume?
I thought you served Primus. That he was your god.
Yes, this droid has not met the new one.
Hmm?
Oh, I see.
There's a new
will you-
Primus.
Yes,
Will you be new after your core is replaced?
most likely.
I see. Well,
And you're not frightened of becoming new?
This unit does not feel fear. However, They did warn it will be painful.
Oh, DULUM, I'll be honest. I don't want to push anything, but I don't want this fate for you.
This unit chose that fate when they entered the portal.
You chose
Now,
to
shall
enter
we
the
continue?
portal.
Yeah.
Seems we have some issues about communicating. I would have liked to know that going into the portal meant a death sentence.
There was only approximately 6 seconds for this decision.
But you did make a decision.
Yes.
Because before you said you couldn't, you were just operating on someone else's predetermined orders, correct?
Correct.
Alright, so you chose to make your own choice rather than follow those predetermined orders. Because if you were following them, you wouldn't have called it a decision.
This droid believed that its higher-ups would understand, seeing that this droid is now taking care of extraplanar entities and delivering them away from the material plane.
But you're being punished for it anyways.
Most likely, yes.
Well, that doesn't seem right to me. It seems you did mostly what you were meant to do.
Thank you.
Malagus sort of gives you a look now, and he goes, "Well, listen, little guy, if you don't want to die, well, how do they normally do this? Do they send some sort of, like, human mechanic or someone smart to come, like, tear you down? We could just, fight them off with a stick."
Typically, yes. However, this message did specify that there will be an enforcer bot.
The fuck is that?
It seems as though they are very powerful beings.
I mean, if there's only one of them.
Yeah, we
You
can
have
take
the
them.
Yeah, you have the best knight of all in Valhalla with you. I wouldn't be too scared.
Thank you. Shall we continue?
Certainly.
Keep an eye on that timer for us, will ya? I just want to be known when the human who built you shows up.
There will be no human.
Oh, well, I assume a human built you. Nothing else of your plane would be smart enough, right?
I don't think that's necessarily true.
No,
Well,
this
it
unit was
shrinks.
built by other robots.
Oh, well, doesn't that mean you're better than them? Sort of makes sense to me that the last generation will build a better new generation. You could probably beat this little thing up, yes?
No, typically the bigger things create weaker units.
Malaga scratches his head at that, which seems odd.
Isn't it pretty much the same with humans?
Well, yeah,
First.
children are weaker at first, but then they grow up and you assume your children will be smarter and stronger than you.
This is this unit's first mission.
See, he's still a baby.
And it's gonna be his last!
Oh no, it's not, because we're just going to fight off the bigger boss, right?
And
Unlikely.
Malaga sort of puts his hands in his coat. I mean, I guess if you want to, but only if DULUM wants to.
This unit would prefer to go with the Modron.
Oh, you don't want to fight them off?
It seems impossible.
Ignore that, because it's not. You've got me and Hyre to heal ya, and Jaya, a fearsome warrior, and Malagus will probably, his personality will repel them all on its own, so,
No
Hyre
offense.
laughs a bit much at that.
No offense, however, this group could not fend off themselves against a handful of guards.
I mean, it was, we were trying
got
not
lucky.
to hurt them.
We had a bad run. We had certain dead weight in our party that was.
Uh-huh, precisely.
Sure thing, this unit will know what to do when the time comes.
That doesn't seem to help.
Alright, and you guys get a move on now. DULUM, you notice now that you sort of get a worried look from at least the NPC players along with you. The group that is Vinny and Bagatha. Vinny, of course, from Waterdeep, trying to get home. Sort of give you this concerned look, as if you were like a lamb in need of saving, and it makes you feel a little unnerved. But it seems standard issue, and you're pretty resolute about what you would want, so you can brush it off. And you all begin traveling through the forest. The forest continues sprawling out, and according to Jaya's tracking, you are theoretically following the same tracks as the day before. Lagging behind your pack, slowing you all down by about 5 feet, is the Father Luces. He's gone completely non-verbal now in his discussion with you all, instead resorting to grunts and every once in a while a moan of anguish. As you all sort of wake up and break camp, I should inform you all that after this long rest, your effects from the portal have disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
The sliminess of your skin, DULUM, or your metallic components sort of dissipates. Orofeus, your hair returns to the same brown it was before.
But damn it, I was so beautiful.
Hyre, your heartbeat. You
Arthritis.
can't hear it anymore, but maybe you can if you focus.
Oh god.
And Jaya, you feel all of your arthritis come back.
Oh.
Spontaneous old.
The father continues lagging behind. DULUM, you said you're like pulling his reins.
Yeah.
Got it. He's not resisting very much, but he's sort of like almost as a child might in a tantrum, yank on the rope that you're pulling just to make sure you're still holding on to it.
I will always be holding on.
You will. I assume you never lose your grip. You all continue traveling through the forest. It should be noted that as you all wake up the next day, while it is brighter here now, you sort of see the cotton candy trees and the blue glow off of sort of little pockets of water around you, and that bright purple grass beneath you is much brighter. However, the sky above you shows no sun. Instead, you still see these galaxies spread out against the sky, painted on there. The galaxies appear brighter, almost as if every little star on there increased its brightness by about double, and that seems to be the thing now radiating a warm glow upon the forest around you. So it's not a consistent light source, and it's like a modeled coloring of lights that flows in and out and radiates out in all sorts of different directions. For you, Hyre, it actually feels very homey.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was literally about to say that. Feels very much like home.
Yeah, homey.
Was that a Homer Simpson reference?
It was Marge Simpson.
It's good for the economy.
So scary.
Oh my god, next one shot, I'm just gonna play Marge.
Great.
Wouldn't that tear your throat apart?
Not as much as Gumball.
Gumball.
God. As ripe as I
really
remember.
good, man.
Can't believe you didn't pick to be a goblin this campaign.
It was Final 3 character concepts.
It's pretty tough not being a goblin, huh?
I will say, being a goblin does fuck up my vocal cords for like a week.
Well, that's good. That's when the next D&D session is, so, you know.
True.
My work would think I started chain smoking.
Wow.
Well, I guess I should just start chain smoking. Then I could sound like Gumball all the time.
That would be what we
Exactly.
want. As you all travel continually, none of you quite know your destination or its distance, but as you continue, you start to see signs of civilization.
Good
You-
sign?
You find around you, you walk past what looks to be a fenced-off area of forest. You don't see anything behind the fence that indicates a reason for it being fenced off, but you see it sure enough is a nice, deep sort of red wood fence that holds in just more forest. You don't see any animals in there or any sort of foliage that looks different or any structures, but it is a man-made structure, a man-made like fence around this that is indicating to you that civilization does exist on this plane.
Nice.
Furthermore, you also, as you walk another 30 minutes, you start to see chunks of stone walls that have been desiccated by time, sort of worn away like ruins. Barely chunks of corners, nothing that really shows off a full structure, but there was likely ancient structures around you that you see sort of modeled in the landscape around you, and there's now been a bit more clear cutting in the forest. What before you were sort of having to bushwhack through the bushes, literally, with your blades out in front of you. Now you can walk a little easier, and it looks like the plants in this area have been a little bit more professionally trampled by whatever moves around here a decent amount. While you all travel, can I get a perception check from everyone, please?
Oh yeah.
I know a guy if you want to get professionally trampled.
We have to stop rolling the ones.
Yeah, damn it with the ones, you guys.
I keep forgetting.
Dulum,
the
you're really
physical
distracted by something, huh?
die. Yeah.
Oh, I saw that 20.
Crazy.
Oh, cool. I also got a nat 1.
That's unreal.
I think I got a 3.
It's rigged. I gotta start rolling my physical die. It's rigged. I promise.
It's rigged. I'll roll Malagus because he is the only one of your companions who cares to help.
What do you mean? I guess Vinny didn't want to help.
They don't want to help.
Fucking commoners. Fucking
Wow.
civvies.
That's nicely rolled back. Did you see that shit?
Cocked online roll.
Literally was. It was called.
How does fucking Foundry cuck rolls?
Cocked.
I thought that was the only place I would be fucking free and safe of cock.
No, there's
Everywhere.
cock.
You're never safe from cock.
Rule
Not
35.
from your cuck, baby girl.
True. You live in no. I would like to take that back. Can we
Think about what you said. Think about it.
Cut the audio track.
Ah.
For the audio listeners at home, I do live with one of these bastards.
It's really romantic.
So, coming back now, you all are traveling through the forest. Immerse yourselves once again in this strange, fey-like atmosphere. The colors of all of the trees, foliage, plant life around you is unusual. You pass trees that bear small fruit, almost like little berries that are bright yellow and bright blue. They don't remind you a lot of overworld fruits, but they do look equally tasty. You sometimes pass a small shrub that looks to bear a sort of gourd curved into a spiral. This seems to be a very wealthy, rich, natural landscape in terms of its variety of cultured plants around here. You had all rolled perception checks and all did dog shit except Sir Orofeus. That leaves you, Orofeus, as the only individual of this planewalking group to see and hear the following.
On top.
As you approach sort of the outskirts of civilizations, you spot a small figure rapidly darting back and forth behind one of these ruined walls. There's like a crumbling wall. It looks like a figure that just the top of their head seems brightly colored, and they move around in a sort of inhuman-like jumping manner. They seem very light on their feet, and you hear this sort of constant like air being released through a small hose very quickly.
If it's a fucking grung, I'll yell, "Wherefore, little traveler, hail and well met! Are you near the city? Come over here, you!" And I'll start walking towards.
All right, you say this and start walking over. The figure immediately freezes behind the wall, and you spot jumping out for a moment here. Looks to be a grung.
Yeah! I did
One
it,
grung
Mason.
above.
This is a grung. I can't believe you caught it was a grung already. I've said nothing about this creature. I'm mad about it.
I'm really fucking excited about grungs.
The creature's skin is a striking mix of deep green and those bright sort of red splotches that you're used to. The sort of tree frog that he resembles is that of a rainforest tree frog with the classic green and the bright red eyes.
Nice.
The creature seems to be splattered with multicolored paint over the entirety of its outfit, and this creature sort of has this like androgynous baggy hoodie like oversized like sort of trousers on that look to be several times used.
So
Sorry,
he's
Who is
He's
this
dressed like
diva?
crazy.
Sorry, did I get an oh yeah for androgynous?
Yeah, you did. Sometimes that's all you need.
Diva.
He wears a simple hat with a visor to keep the sun out, though here you don't really see a sun, implying that this figure might be multidimensional in some way. And you see now sort of like springing from the creature's location, this grung looks to be sort of making its wide froggy eyes dart to the nearest escape route. And the grung hops a few feet away, webbed feet splashing in a puddle.
No need to be afraid, little creature. I just wanted to ask you where the city was. Assuming you came from there.
The creature kind of stops, and you see they dart away some sort of item that was being held in hand. As the item goes quickly shoved under this sort of baggy overcoat and shirt, the sort of hissing sound that you heard earlier subsides and gets quiet. And the grung stops and spins back with a smooth grin. I will send you now a reference image in our chat for the look of this grung.
Oh,
Holy
peak!
shit, he's so fucking cool. Oh my god. Okay, listener, he's got some like little sneakers happening, gray with some pops of color. He's got baggied up. He's got a hoodie, and on top of that, he has like a brown, Carhartt type jacket, and he has a basketball cap that matches. Also, he's
It's
a
giving
frog.
it's giving a skater that competes in like X Games, but is a
Yeah.
frog.
Is he gooey and dripping?
he's
You do
different.
notice that he sort of has a slick look to him, both in physical, like, slickness of his frog skin, but as well a sort of slick attitude as this smooth grin comes over the froggy face. And the creature speaks to you all in a sort of accented common that goes something like this. Yo! You guys must be new around here.
Indeed.
Yes, we are.
He sort of croaks this out a little bit, and he sounds laid back but alert, still darting those big, wide red eyes at the nearest escape path.
We didn't mean to scare you.
No, you're good. Do you like what you see? It's sort of my masterpiece right here. And he gestures at the side of the wall that you can't see.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll walk over too.
Okay, you guys walk over. The Grong steps back a little bit to sort of give you a look. And you turn to see what looks to be what you can only guess as a sort of very stylized piece of art.
I could smell he was a graffiti artist.
You can see it on him.
Oh yeah.
What you would almost call, like, there's all sorts of bright colors. It's sort of accented with a turquoise background with this bright green foreground, which sort of matches the green that this creature before you has going on. It seems to be lettering, but it's so stylized it's somewhat hard to read. So you guys sort of look at it for a minute. If any of you want to give me like I suppose an insight check to guess what this says.
I would love to. If this works, this will be the first time I've successfully read in the campaign.
Oh, nice. That's
No
perfect.
proof that you can read yet.
No, yeah, not yet.
14 for me.
15.
Oh,
17. Oh, 19. Fuck.
19. Okay. The spell DC was, or I guess it wasn't even a spell. Excuse me. The DC was a 10. So
Huge.
you guys, see it pretty easy.
I see it the easiest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My cataracts ain't got shit on me now.
I'll send a picture of what it looks like in the chat, just for your visual reference. For all of you who got above a 10, you read this as 4 letters. It seems to say Brock.
oh my
Perv.
god.
Okay,
Why, you're
Perv.
such a talented artist.
Yeah, I've been working on this one for a while. Nobody comes out of Surcat this far to take a look at it, so I kind of had this one working for a couple hours. Do you like it? Name's Brock, by the way, and he throws out a webbed hand at whoever's closest.
I think that's
Oh.
Maisie.
Yeah, I'll take his webbed hand.
Okay, it is, it is sticky, but nevertheless, he feels like he is, he's being friendly.
It's good to meet you, Brock. Would you mind pointing us in the direction of that city you mentioned? Sir, could you say it again?
Oh, Surcad? Yeah, it's like the only
Surcad.
city in this fucking plane. We're in like a shitty little fake dimension, right? This place isn't even fucking real.
What?
How
Oh
can it
god,
supposed
does
to be
that mean we
real?
have to go back through the portal?
Well, I mean, it's not like it's hard to get out. I mean, if you talk to that shithead Zabrix, you can get out no problem. But, it's just sort of that thing where there's like an end on each side. We're sort of in just like a little crack, like crack between dimensions. That's sort of what I like to call this place.
We are kind of new here. Could you maybe give us a little bit of a rundown?
Yeah, dude. So yeah, it's sort of like a crack, between places here. It's a nice hiding ground for the sort of shifty folk that like to live out here. But for the most part, it's people just who get stuck here and make do because the city's pretty nice.
We did see on a sign from, oh god, what was his name?
Bricks?
Yeah, that there were things out here that wanted to eat us. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, things that'll eat you? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, there's tons of shit out here that wants to eat you, but just between you and me, and the Grung sort of leans in. This is one of the, I suppose if any of you have ever encountered Grungs before, this is one of the taller Grungs you've encountered. He comes up to a solid, like, 4 feet tall.
think
God,
I
And,
fit
um,
on
he's
me.
taller than
sort of has a
me.
lanky look to him. But he sort of leans in now to Oro and says, "Yeah, well, the thing is, the creatures out here that like want to eat you, you don't see them coming, man.
What does that mean?
Well, you know,
God.
you know how I said we're sort of in like a crack between dimensions right now? Well, that sort of comes with the territory of like a lot of monsters here are also sort of in between states. And so a lot of them, they just don't show up the same way you and I can see. You know, they sort of like slip in and out and you can't really see them so good, but sometimes you can feel them.
Oh, I don't like
Ah.
that.
So how'd you
That's
avoid
great.
that?
Oh, me? I mean, I don't come out here often. He sort of gestures behind him in a vague direction. He's like, I mostly spend my time in the, in the streets around Surcat. I just thought I wanted to get out here because I needed to, flex some creative muscles, Anyway, I should probably get going now. You guys promise you won't rat me out for this?
Of course not.
Rat you
Take
up for
us
what?
back with you.
Fuck yeah, it's just, the great lady, she gets sort of pissy at this sort of stuff, and, the punishment's only gotten higher. I gotta hop now. I'll see you guys
What?
later.
What? I thought you were gonna. Oh, what, great lady?
Hop on, brother.
You guys gave him two very different vibes with that. Oro, do you want to give me like a persuasion check to get more information out of this guy?
Sure. I am not.
What happened?
It's just not my strong. Yep.
Just not your strong suit, man?
It was
What
a
happened?
natural one. You're a natural.
Oh.
Which is our 5th of the night, I think.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, natural one. He does not seem like he wants to continue this conversation. So he starts hopping off and he's like, dude, just don't piss off the great lady. She's real fucking hard ass. All right, see you guys later, Bye. If you need anything, just find me. Okay, bye. And he hops off as fast as he can in a vaguely northeastern direction from you all.
Okay. How great can she be, really?
Can other women not be great just because one woman is?
Hyre's on a fucking...
She could be a grace lady, but she's not the grace lady.
I see. Well, perhaps it is just their custom.
I'll say.
You notice that Malagus has now put away the daggers that he had on his person? Dude, was that guy fucking scary or what? Oh my god.
You were scared of him?
Jesus, have you ever seen a creature like that? It was practically monstrous.
I haven't
Isn't
seen
Malagus
creatures
taller
like
than him?
any-
Hyre, you were about the same size.
Okay.
You've never seen a creature that looks like that before.
No, but I've also never seen a creature like DULUM or Jaya or Hyre, for that matter.
Yes, that's why I'm unnerved by them as well. No offense. And Malagus gives you like a sort of cutesy smile.
I wince. All right. You're unnerved by them still, really?
Well, no, not really anymore, but I mean, I suppose for a time. That seems off topic. Neither here nor there. More importantly, what do you think? What should we put the cap at? Maybe like 50 gold pieces to turn in that shithead?
Why would we turn him in? He was doing art.
Art? What? That he was vandalizing, I assume, public property.
Art is one of Queen Riddice's 5 great principles of society, and he was contributing as best I can tell.
Well, what are her other great traits of society then?
Right now it's visual art, performing art. Those are 2. Sciences, history, and competition.
Visual and performing are different.
They're very distinct.
Seems confusing to me.
It seems like if you wanted someone to do those jobs, you would pick 2 separate people, because someone who's adequate at visual arts might be below adequate at talking to people.
Are you below average at both?
No, I'm quite equipped at visual arts.
Yeah, I bet you're really good at visual arts.
I
And
am
talking.
not talking.
Can you dance?
No, that is also the 4th knight's job.
It seems like your Queen Riddice is, how would we say, a softie? Not one for battle?
Yes, that's her whole thing.
Ah, well, we have a different word for that where I come from.
I draw my bat, which is the cannon.
Malagus, I don't see this ending well for you. Maybe we can not talk about that.
What seems to be the problem, huh?
Queen Riddice is a
You
better
know-
woman than you could imagine, in a mind so defiled by the shitty plane you live in as your own. You've never met a woman like Queen Riddice, and you never will unless you meet her, because she is one and alone. You do well
So
to
I
keep
See,
in mind.
you made him mad.
Fine. No need to get all in a huff. I didn't mean to cause a disturbance.
It's alright. I understand your mind is very limited to the plane you come from.
Well, I suppose I'm just not used to this sort of thing around me. That's all.
Orofeus
Well,
keeps
gone now.
walking.
All right, you guys keep walking. As you guys walk, DULUM, you are approached by the man from Waterdeep himself, Vinny.
How's your voice doing, Vinny?
It's feeling a little better, thanks, DULUM. I was sort of feeling a little awkward to talk yesterday because I felt like I was being judged from my voice, which wasn't great for me.
My apologies.
But don't apologize, you didn't do nothing wrong. And I'm feeling a lot better now. I just, I thought I should let you know that, I heard what was going on yesterday about the whole, you're getting shut down thing, and I just, for one, think that's a crying shame.
Why is that?
Well, it's just you're good as you are now, so why should you have to die or whatever for some stupid god that you worship, you're your own man. Sorry, I don't mean to make a big stink about it. I'm worried about you is all.
Just stinking everywhere.
Thank you for your concern, but this droid will be fine.
If you say so. It's just, back in Waterdeep, I don't know if you know, that's where I'm from, we've got this saying, see, and it sort of goes something like, if a man works for a day, that's that man's work. You know what I'm saying? It's no one else's, so I feel like you don't owe it to no one else to die or live or whatever.
Thank you for your sentiment, but this
Does that make
droid
any
owes
sense?
everything.
I'm from Waterdeep.
This droid has never
That's
heard of those
good.
phrases.
Well, sorry, I don't mean to get up all in your business. I know things are sort of sensitive for you right now. I'm just, I just think if push comes to shove, I won't help, but I will help people help you get you out of this mess,
Thank you, Vinny.
Yeah, man, no problem. I'm looking out for you. And he gives you sort of a wink.
Go, Vinny.
I'll just stare at him and keep going.
Sure. You guys continue forward. Does anyone else want to do anything while you guys are traveling?
Just underneath Orofeus' breath, he's reciting Queen Eurydice's titles as he.
Her
Would like
title,
to
her
bone
mini
my
titles.
cow.
Alright, you recite her mini titles.
Yes,
They all make you feel better. Alright, after a few moments more of traveling, it really isn't much more, you guys were pretty close now. You see the outskirts, sure enough, of a city. This seems to be located just about what you would guess is center to this, and what you've been now told is sort of like a plane that has ends. This is not an endless plane, this is like a smaller plane. You are exposed to a juttingly high city. The
Wow.
city seems to be specially suited to strange geometry. What you could only describe as architecture built too tall for its own good. You see very beautiful manors built atop curved spires that come down almost to a point, as if it was a spinning top. And on top of that manor, you see a bridge built out to another high spire, leading up to what looks like some sort of tavern or perhaps a shop built even higher. For those of you who have seen the breadth of the world, it almost looks like a shanty town where buildings are built on top of each other, but each one of these buildings looks fairly classy. You have fine shingled roofs, beautiful golden arches built in between each settlement, lit by beautiful golden lanterns and candlelight. And the entire city seems to be aglow with this sort of mystical, cosmic beauty that is their version of the sun here, just the galaxies above your head. Looking down at eye level, it sort of seems like the city feels almost small at eye level. There aren't actually that many entrances to places. It looks like you sort of need to get lost in these strangely tall towers to get to anywhere interesting. You don't really see any rhyme or reason to the towers because they're also interconnected by these bridges and sort of walkways. It looks as though the whole city was built on stilts. At ground level, you see a couple tents on the outskirts. There are a few bazaars, perhaps, and what look to be some heavily robed figures wandering about. But besides that, you don't really see anyone else around, and on these high spires built up out of these buildings built one on top of another, you don't see a lot of people moving around. It looks like all the windows have heavy shutters on them and thick windows. You notice now that those nice slatted roofs with the shingles are heavy duty. For any of you with experience with architecture, I know Orofeus, you've seen stuff like this before. You know this type of architecture only to be used in places that are buffeted by the strongest of winds or torrential tropical storms or some other reason to involve heavy architecture to defend against elements. And that's what this seems to be, defending against some sort of element. Nevertheless, though, there's still bright, cheery, warm light echoing out from every one of these beautiful glass windows that look doubly reinforced. And while the glass is so thick, it makes it sort of hard to see inside of any of these buildings. It does look to be like there's some movement happening behind some. You see lights flick on and off every once in a while, and rarely you'll see someone exit one door on a tower and sort of walk across a bridge to another. Altogether, while it is a somewhat tall city, even the highest skyscrapers in Waterdeep probably only just reach the height of the average spire here. It doesn't look to be a very wide city. All in all, the square footage of it is likely about the same as Brightbank, where you were earlier. It's just because of how tall it is, which gives you the sense of scale for this place. In the sky behind this city, there seems to be sort of like what you would almost call a floating carriage. Some sort of vessel that sits looming in the sky, looking down upon the city. You can't quite make out its shape or what it's used for. It could even be something organic, but it looks to have sleek metal along the sides, and it sort of holds itself up without moving. Some of you have heard of wizards who are able to make their spires fly completely on their own, the floating castle vibe. And this is sort of gives you the same energy. Nevertheless, it's so far away you can't quite make out what it is. Welcome to... This is the city called Circad. You all sort of approach the edges, and what would you all like to do?
Do you guys think we should find Zephrix first, or should we look around?
Orofeus is in awe of the beauty of the architecture.
We should find this town's ruler.
Aye then. What, should we head for the top, then?
Most likely. I'll start walking.
Okay, you guys start walking in. You all make your way into the sort of ground level, as it were, of this town. Again, these are all temporary structures down here. Tents put up. You sort of see like beggars on the street shake very, very clanging metallic tin cups at you and ask for coin as you walk by. They don't seem to give you any other look, and you all sort of see the normal rabble-rouse of the individuals that reside on the ground floor here. These are all heavily robed figures. A couple figures you go by even have these enormous, what look to be iron masks that they're wearing that look just inordinately heavy, but they cover their face very well, and you can't even discern what species the creature is underneath. They don't pay you any mind as you walk by, and every once in a while you sort of hear one of these tents to your side. A creature from inside sort of calls out and says, "Interdimensional wares! From the material plane, we have hamhocks here, hamhocks!" Or you hear someone else shout out, "From Shadowfell, right here and only here, blooming nightshade, available one time only, just tonight." Similarly, you sort of get these barkers calling out to you, giving you sales pitches.
You guys think that blooming nightshade is some sort of drug?
I have no way of knowing.
Unsure.
Maybe all these people have knowledge on how to get back to their planes.
So you guys continue to pass by these stalls, and they sort of call out to you. The people here, you all sort of identify as what you'd imagine being sort of the untouchables, if you would, of society. At least it seems like they don't regard you with anything, that none of these people seem excited to be here. They all seem to just be going through the motions, and because of these heavy cloaks and oftentimes these iron masks that they seem to be wearing, these seem to be people who are just going about business and not really here for pleasure. This doesn't seem to be an enjoyable part of the town, at least on the ground level. Nevertheless, though, you guys continue perusing through it until you find a bulletin board. This board is slathered with what look to be all the same sort of rhetoric. Each of these posters along the bulletin board sort of read the same, but I'll give you an example one, and they all have sort of crude artistic renditions alongside of them, as they all read something along the lines of, and let me pull up my notes on this, excuse me. Ooh. Redeem yourself to her. And there's an image of a very tall figure. The artistic drawing is done from the ground so that you are looking up at this figure of what looks to be a robed figure wearing an enormous iron mask. Another one says, tell your sins to her and repent. Finally, another that just says something along the lines of, she watches you always.
Oh,
These all seem
God,
to have
guys, I
these
think
sort
I
of
might need to repent. Sorry.
These all seem to have these sort of like all caps, like, you know, the propaganda-esque vibe that you might imagine in a controlled deep state. I will include an image in the chat now of what the picture of the individual looks like.
Whoa.
Again, it's just these sort of like yellowish orange robes, and you're looking up at the figure as she wears what looks to be in a heavy iron mask that looks like it could be 100 pounds. These signs identify this individual as the Duke of Surcad, the Lady of Pain, which sort of brings with it all of the kind of dystopian vibes that you get from a leader of a town being named the Lady of Pain. But nevertheless, you still hear revelry above you in the higher tower, so you're sure it's not quite as bad as these posters make it seem, but perhaps at least on the ground level here, people on this floor need to see this kind of messaging, or it's meant for them. But yeah, you all read that. Oh, this place seems kind of scary. Are we going to like one of them dictatorship places?
This is not how a grace
believe
lady
so.
should rule.
Yeah, isn't your lady like all smiles and rainbows and stuff?
Exactly. She's kind.
You guys might want to keep your voice down. We don't know if she's listening.
Yeah, what was Froggy saying about this lady? Was he scared or something?
He seems scared for good reason.
Yeah. I see where he was coming from now, fearing retro.
You guys notice now, sort of looking around, that the individuals walking past you wearing masks, their masks do sort of reflect the mask that this Duke wears. They're somewhat similar, and that sort of leads you to believe that they could be associated somehow.
Cops.
As you guys are walking around DULUM, you get sort of like shoulder checked by an individual with a heavy cloak, and they lean down towards you and say, 1,000 apologies, and bows.
No worries. I'll keep walking.
Okay.
DULUM, do you still have all your belongings?
Oh, let me check. I'll check my pocket.
You check your pockets. Do you have pockets?
No,
He
I'll
has a
check my
fanny pack.
fanny pack, yeah.
Oh, are you gonna open your fanny pack?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so exciting. It's been a minute since you've done this.
Has he
you
eaten everything?
You open your fanny pack to... Oh, that guy's in a water skin, right?
Yeah.
Check there next. You open your fanny pack to reveal it looks empty. But you sort of look in it and you're like, no, it's not empty, it's deeper.
What?
Okay.
What?
You look down into your fanny pack. You're looking down now. God, it has to be about 20 feet. And you see at the bottom, at the rough leather bag, sitting what looks like so far away is a tiny gray marbled stone.
Oh!
You see the rest of your stuff too, all the way down there, about 20 feet down in your bag. As you sort of shake your bag, rattling it, the whole, what could only be called room, the whole room in there shakes as well, and you see the stone as well as all your valuables get thrown around violently.
Holy shit, that is so much better than a bag of holding.
Yes, everything appears to be in here.
You sort of close it and then like look back up. It felt weird, you've probably heard of extra dimensional spaces, but it was really weird looking into one and knowing that the bag was only 4 inches deep, but you could see almost 20 feet down. But you get the feeling that if anyone was trying to frisk you for stuff, they could not have reached that deep.
Everyone, be on guard. I believe DULUM was spared, but I believe that's a tactic in crime to bump into people like that, apologize, and keep going.
So, wait, are you not supposed to apologize if you bump in? Wait. What's the crime about all of that?
I'm saying that people will purposely bump into you to take a chance to steal from you.
To steal from you! In the town! Okay, I see.
We don't know what this town is like yet. I'm just saying be careful.
No, understood. Thank you for the warning. Orofeus is on a continuous circuit now of checking every item on his body.
Okay, you continue. You do have a lot of things on your body.
Yeah. I'm like hugging them all in a bundle to my chest.
You hug them real good. You guys continue through the town now. You come across your first staircase up into a building on like what you would imagine is like a second floor. Again, these are all sort of built on stilts, so all the buildings on the first floor are mostly these tents. There's sort of like a gap between that and the next. So you all sort of see that, and it seems like the next logical step to go. You can sort of skate around the outside of this building or even go inside of it. It looks to be some sort of common space that you can use to ascend higher into the city to see more of it. So you guys continue forth. At this point, has anyone wanted to stop and do anything? No, you guys are good. All right, you continue
I'm looking
into
for the
this
guy
building.
in the stupid hat.
You've seen no one in a hat yet. You've seen a lot of people wearing You've seen a lot of people wearing these hoods and like masks. So that's sort of close.
I guess, I don't know what check this is supposed to be, but can I try to insight if, I did just say insight, but, like, if there is a particular, like, roguish type feel to this town?
That's a good... Yeah, okay, let me think what kind of check that would be. I suppose that would be an insight check.
Yeah. 16?
Okay, you get the vibe here that this place, it seems to be in the, grand scale of criminal town to like completely lawful town. You'd think it's probably a little bit more on the criminal side, but there does seem to be a pretty stout ruling class here, which sort of leads you to believe it's sort of, you can't escape capitalism. You think gold is still the master of all here, and that leads to a lot of like laws and classes and such that lead you to believe that there's probably there could be some criminal underbelly stuff that happens here, but compared to like say an Underdark city, this place is much more lawful in comparison.
Ugh, a bunch of Malaguses.
Likely something like that. You think Malagus would fit in right at home here. Nevertheless, though, you're sure you can find somebody lawful here, and you're sure there is probably a lot of law and order that happens here. It's not going to be as lawful as, say a Mechanicus city. They all need fixing.
I can fix them.
So you all begin ascending this building. The room that you all are walking through sort of looks like from the outside like it looks like someone's house. It sort of has a front door that looks very classical. It even has a doorbell that looks like it is a physically large bell that looks like it's been rung thousands of times. Even the rope is gone. There's just a little knocker on the inside that you can sort of smack against the rest of the bell. And the door seems wide open, and people seem to sort of come and go. As you guys sort of make your way up the stairs into this building, a rough-looking dwarven man sort of pushes out, wearing full plate mail, and clobbers down the stairs, huffing and puffing, looks to be in a rush, and doesn't make any effort to say hi to you all. You all make your way in now, and you see that this sort of looks like what used to be somebody's living room. You think a long time ago, that's now since been gutted, likely all of the important parts removed, and most of the walls torn down, to reveal a shell of a house with dozens of staircases that just sort of breach through at different angles. It feels very abstract. You have no idea why this room would be built this way, but it does seem to be used for a decent amount of travel. As you walk in, you see a fair few individuals walking up and down these stairs, making their rounds for the day. You see a couple more of these masked individuals wearing heavy cloaks make it up and down the stairs. As well, you also see what look to be a group of elves. They look to be high elves wearing fanciful robes walking down, all discussing something with each other. You also see a band of humanoid, sort of like individuals that look to be from the outer realms of Faerun, humans from distant countries that all seem to be students or scholars together, all seem to be wearing scholarly clothes and carrying around textbooks. They also seem to be discussing something with each other. Most people here seem to be traveling in groups in some reason or another, and you yourselves are also traveling in groups, so it doesn't feel that out of place. But there seemed to be a decent amount of life here, and nobody makes any notice at you. Not a soul says anything to you. People seem to just be going about their business. As you guys continue ascending now onto what you imagine is a second floor, you see your first official shop, which looks to be some sort of bakery. It offers what you first feel are these beautiful smells of cooked bread and perhaps a delicacy of very softly curated cheeses and perhaps some sort of meats. General charcuterie, as you would rations in their highest regard. The smells, waft towards you all, and you can see on display all manner of cured meats and cheeses and breads. This store seems much higher quality than the sort of buskers downstairs that you met, where down there they seem to sort of just be like yelling at you to buy stuff. Here it seems like more like an actual storefront. There's more law and order up here.
Orofeus, for the first time in millennia, experiences the call of like appetizing looking food and would stop to just stare at the bakery.
Alright, you stop to look at it. As you sort of stop the group, and I should note also, you guys are you still carrying the cow? I'll note it's gotten bigger again.
Motherfucker! Oh god damn, I forgot that.
This is a large creature with hooves that you are parading.
Mason, that
You
is
also have
very
a
cruel of you
winged
to return
man.
the creature.
You also have what is effectively a prisoner.
Yeah, we might need to split the group in half.
It's time to call the party. We should send Father Lucius off to watch the cow and just sort of see who comes out on top.
Well, Father Lucius, given the chance, will probably say something to someone, try to get release. Maybe if he
Why do we
truly is
want
an active hostage. I guess we don't, so I guess we should give him the option.
Well, like, DULUM clearly, yeah. DULUM wants him, but...
Well, I do
fucking-
think either way, we need to divide the party to keep the cow and Father Lucius somewhere else.
I'm just saying, DULUM and Jaya are making some questionable decisions with their drag-along NPC.
They need to be returned. I took this guy from the material plane. He's got to go back.
I'm gonna go grab that dwarf, and we need him now.
We didn't bring him here.
So?
We gotta restore the balance. Bring him back to where he came from.
Well, I need that dwarf because I love him.
Okay, cool. Bring him.
I would also like to add on that whatever you were staring at, Orofeus, Hyre was also just right up in that shit. Mouth
Yeah, I'm
holding.
just looking. I think I would know by now, like, the concept of the bakery, that I can't just take the food, so I would just stand awkwardly and watch it, not really knowing how you go about, like, getting it.
So you just look sad?
Hungry, mostly.
Hyre, do you want me to buy you something? I have a lot of gold from our, last area.
Well, I don't want to waste your money.
I mean, we could split one.
I would switch one, for sure. I would switch one.
What are we splitting though?
Mason just run by a couple of the bakery's choices.
Probably the meat.
Sure.
Yeah, meat. If there is something with like bread around meat, like a little meat pie, or like a.
I agree.
I'm imagining like a large version of a pig in a blanket.
You sort of look to that. There's some like you could probably find some rye bread that they've placed some salami on top of, sort of like an open-faced sandwich.
I feel like we can do better than that.
Most of this stuff is very classic. You might have to build it yourself.
They don't got any meat pies?
They do not have any meat pies
Come
here.
on, what the heck?
Yeah,
You don't want to.
Meat
You don't want to
pies.
take just a slab of meat.
I suppose I need just a slab of meat. The bread though, it does smell good.
You especially smell there's a sort of sweet nutty bread that wafts towards you guys, and Oro, you're especially drawn to it. It smells like maybe raisin bread that I don't know why your mouth makes that feel like it would taste really good.
Okay, I point at the raisin bread. How'd you feel about that one?
Oh my gosh, it looks delicious.
Yes! We should get that.
As you guys are sort of sitting at the storefront looking in, you notice that there's like a sort of crotchety, unkempt old man sitting on a bench outside of this bakery that's been sort of mad dogging you guys.
Hello, sir. Thank you for
Hi.
presenting us with your wares.
Go ahead.
We want to trade you for.
Can we buy something?
Yeah.
All right. Can I get a perception check from all of you guys?
Oh yeah.
For those of you here, for the Gumps here, please.
The
For those
gums.
of you higher.
Oh, natural one, motherfucker. I don't see
B.
anything. Can we just retcon that I never put my goggles back on after I talked to Mulligan?
God, how did you roll another nat one? I just don't understand it.
I think every perception check. I also want you guys to know that the cat is sitting. Oh, she actually just moved. She's been sitting up on my desk and twitching every few seconds, like she's about to jump on me. Which is why I keep like getting anxious with my voice.
With your nat one, Oro, you're completely distracted by the smell of food. You're not seeing anything right now. It smells great.
I got a 14.
Thank you. Dulum, do you want to roll?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
12.
All right, 12. Thank you. Dulum, you obviously immediately identify that this gentleman is definitely not the proprietor of this bakery. Probably the proprietor is whoever's inside the bakery and making the bread. You think this might just be some likely unhoused gentleman who is outside of the store.
Orofeus and Hyre would do this in character.
But Hyre, as you look at him, there's almost something sort of familiar about this guy, but you can't put your finger on it.
I'm sorry.
As you guys look at him, you notice he carries like a sort of what looks like a staff that a wizard might carry, but it has a snake head on one end, almost like a walking stick. His coat is covered with all sorts of grotesque drawings and almost arts and crafts projects to look like eyes and teeth and mouths. And as you sort of make eye contact with this guy, he jumps up and bounds over to you all in a couple quick steps, moving faster than you'd expect.
It's the raisin, the one with the raisins and the nuts that we want.
So you see this wild-eyed figure. It looks like it could be an elf, but you're not sure. His long, disheveled robes are mismatched, and he sort of taps his fingers rhythmically on his staff as he walks over. And when he sees you guys, he claps his hands together and he goes, hey, you guys, how you been? Oh, wait. And he squints and he sort of waves his hands in front of you all. Right, you will be here again soon. Or is this the first time? No. This is the time after the dinner, right?
Oh.
Yeah, with the ham, you remember? Oh man, good times. Or was that before? You remember the flaming boar?
Just to save you some trouble and help you out, this is our first time meeting you.
What? No. Oh, just last week, remember? You handled that surprise attack during dinner at the dessert, you remember? It was just magnificent. And he pointed at Dulum and he says, yeah, but and you remembered to dodge right at that moment. It was great.
This unit does not remember that, and it has perfect memory.
His words kind of jumble a little bit, and he sort of leans in conspiratorially, and his voice drops to a whisper. Hey, don't tell me you already forgot the eclipse.
This unit does not see
it's gonna
a
happen
moon or
really
sun.
soon. Or maybe it just did. I mean, you'll know it when you see it. Or did you already stop? Sorry. It's just always so good to see you guys again. And he throws his arms open as if expecting hugs.
What is your name?
I'll give him a hug.
He accepts it bravely and says, "Oh man, Hyre, these always just feel so good. It's so good to see you again, man. My name's Tufto. Man, I can't believe
say our names. Did we?
Time. Say that again.
We didn't say our first names, right?
No.
You did not.
Tufto, what's
Oh
my
my-
name?
Tufto.
Oh, well, right now I assume you're still going as Iceland, right?
Oh, you don't know everything now, do you?
But you're really from Valhalla, yes?
Yes.
Or are you going back to Valhalla? I forget. I think you're there now. Oh man, sorry. It's so good to see you guys. And he sort of like leans in to get more hugs from the rest of you after Hyre comes in.
I'll hug him. Fuck it.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
I'll oblige.
I'm meeting someone who's going to be my friend.
I'll send a picture in chat. I know you guys love your pictures.
Ole.
He continues.
Oh God.
I can't believe it. It was just only yesterday when we were saving that village from the. Oh, but it's not. No spoilers. Sorry, you'll get there.
No.
Are you like a prophet of some sort?
No. I just, and he continues tapping his finger rhythmically on the staff. I'm just a little out of time is all. But I think I'm figuring it out. So are you going by Orofeus right now or Iceland?
I'm Orofeus. I'm living in Iceland's body.
Okay, because I swear to God it was like 3 weeks from now. You're just Iceland all day and you don't even know who Orofeus is. Or was that 3 weeks ago?
It was like 3 days ago, and hopefully it'll be within the next 3 days that, again, Iceland is living without Orofeus around.
God, that is just too cool. Man, so are we still on for drinks later tonight, or is that next time?
You have to understand that this is our first time meeting you, and we're very confused by your whole unstuck in time situation.
He like claps his hands over his face. He says, "Ooh, sorry, I'm totally freaking you out, huh? All right, I'll give you some space." And he backs up, unhugging from you all, and gives you all like a goofy grin, like expecting something.
So, can we have the bread for free then, if we're all friends?
Oh, I don't work here. I just sit here.
Oh.
He points at the bench he was sitting at. You should go inside, have a chat. You guys are best buds, right?
We are.
Oh.
Well, yeah, you and Grimwalk.
What do we get along over? What are the things we share that might encourage him to give us more bread for less money?
And the figure sort of gives like a wide look and goes, "Oh, I see how it is. No, you haven't met yet. No spoilers. All right." And he sort of jumps back over to the bench and sits back down and like he puts both of his hands under his chin and watches you guys with an excited grin.
Can I ask one?
Friend, do you want some bread too?
He waves his hand. No, you guys are good.
Can I ask one question, Tufto?
God, I'm so excited we hung out and are gonna hang out.
Is Grimhawk, is he friends with Iceland or Orofeus?
I mean, you. Which one are you right now? I forget. Sorry.
It shouldn't matter which one I am right now to answer the question.
Oh, but it matters to you, right?
Well, I'm Orofeus. Always. Sometimes Iceland lives here, though. Most of the time. I mean, it's her. I'm sort of a tenant.
He kicks his feet a little more and he goes, "Oh, you'll just, be yourself. I'm sure you'll make best friends."
Okay. It's not how it typically goes for me.
No, we got this.
Okay. He's going to love us, so yeah.
Well, he never said he liked me, so I feel like I'm basically going in with a fresh slate.
Oh, I thought you meant we're all best friends. The pressure's not all on me, right? I don't make a good impression with people. I'm sure you've noticed.
Well, you made a good impression on me, so I bet we can make a good impression together.
Thank you, Hyre. You're a great little guy. And then I'll kick open the door,
All right,
emboldened by my friend.
you kick open the door. There's this sort of like, a little bell on the inside, ding-a-ling-ling, as you kick it open. And inside, you sort of get a gruff voice come from behind the counter that goes, "Yep, what can I do for you?"
With the raisins, please. And tell me about yourself.
And you guys all turn to see what looks to be the actual proprietor of this shop. Man, I'm just sending you so many pictures, huh?
I love him.
Give me those tasty
Um,
little images.
Without even having asked her name, you know this individual as Grimwalk.
Holy shit! Oh my god, we are getting it along.
my! Yeah, we are getting along.
Most striking about Grimwalk is the fact, well, first off, she is a half-orc. She wears her hair in sort of a ratty ponytails on either side that have sort of come apart, and long black hair. She bears a couple tattoos along her arms, and you notice the right side of her body, specifically the right bicep, shoulder, and the right temple, have sort of a burn mark on them, a very scarred burn that has since healed over a dull reddish green with the green of a half-orc. She looks nonchalant at you guys and carries on her a huge butcher's knife that looks somewhat fitting of a chef, but of a baker, it looks a little odd. She goes, so what can I do for you?
I just want to see if this will work on the microphone. Did you get that?
A little bit.
Just taste of it?
Your muscles, they're huge. I mean, burned. I'm a healer. You need healing?
I blink at Hyre next to me, and then I turn to her and I throw my hands in the air and I yell, "Battle scars!" I want to run up to the counter and just drum on it with my hands.
Nice. The poor woman behind the counter immediately looks concerned by what you just said and uncomfortable, and she sort of rubs her hand over her scarred arm as you say that, and she goes, listen, I don't want any trouble. I just want, if you want to buy something, you can. If not, get out. I don't want any of that.
Just with the raisins.
Yeah, sure. And she sort of steps back a moment and digs through the counter that you were looking at just a moment before and pulls out a fresh loaf of what looks like raisin bread. She wraps it up in parchment paper and ties a very quaint little red bow around the outside. That'll be 1 silver piece.
I'll give her a gold, because of course. And I'll be like, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. I don't really say what I think. This guy's more of the talker between the both of us. He's good at meeting people. So sorry about that.
Are you a soldier? You look like you could be a knight. Oh, your arms. It's amazing. And then I want to flex pathetically at her.
Yeah, you flex pathetically. She sort of nods politely at what you said, Hyre, and she goes, listen, it's no biggie. I'm not looking to start anything. It's sweet of you to say, though. She sort of looks back at you, Oro, and goes, yeah, listen, I not much for fighting. Not really interested in that sort of stuff.
A woman of peace!
If you want to, take that outside, you can, but not in here, please.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to fight you. I don't know. I feel like I don't... Huh. Feel like we will get along really well, you and I.
Listen, I put the sword away a long time ago. I'm not interested in sort of bringing out that talk in me anymore. But if you want to hash bacon stuff, that sounds good. And she sort of flips the gold that you gave her Hyre and gives you a wink as she pockets it. And then looks out and kind of throws her hands on the counter, slamming them down with a bit of force, and goes, anything else I can help you all with? And gives you a crooked half-orc smile.
I offer my hand. I'm Orofeus.
Nice to meet you.
Not that. I was wondering, do you know where we could find Zephrix?
Oh, Zabrix? That shithead? Oh, shit. Think he's... Let me think. And she sort of pokes her head off the counter a little bit, looking out the window of her shop out into the actual city of Circad. I think he's... And she sort of points out, about 3 floors up in that tower over there. You see that sort of washy blue color coming out of that window? Yeah, that's him.
Oh, thank you.
We were told
he was our way. We were told he was our way out.
Nah, nobody sees him except for trouble.
Oh well, we don't want to be trouble, right?
Besides, I don't know. I saw you guys talking to that crazy guy outside. I can't get him to leave, and the ladies' men won't take him away. But he keeps spouting about shit that hasn't happened. He's just making that up, right?
He knew my name without me telling him.
Well, yeah, he's a wizard, you know. He's probably casting some spell and acting crazy just for fun. I don't know, man. He's told me shit that's never come true. I don't trust the guy for a second.
What did he tell you that didn't come true?
Well, you see she sort of gets, like, a little red around the cheeks on that, and she says, well, that's private, and I just met you.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was private. The things he told me so far, none of them, well, some of them have been, I don't know, it's hard to say how true or not true they are, because they haven't happened yet. But I could see some of them happening.
I thought we had a new friend. I was kind of hoping he was telling the truth.
Well, I mean, maybe for you, and she sort of gets embarrassed here, and she's like, listen, I don't mean to shit-talk people, that's not really my prerogative, I'm sorry, I think we got off on the wrong foot. Listen, my name's Grimwalk, right? I run this bakery, this is the Round Loaf.
Round Loaf.
I'm up here usually most mornings, you know, of course, we always close down here pretty early because of the tides.
The what? No.
If I may say, this is the best shop I've ever been to. I haven't been to a lot of shops.
Me too, for sure.
This is the best. This place is so cool.
It's amazing. It smells so good. It's making my mouth real wet, and I hold my mouth open and let a little spit dribble out. Sorry.
This droid has never been to a better shop.
You guys are just fucking up. She sort of looks at you as you're in the DULUM, and she says, hey, listen, You seem like a nice droid there, but can I ask why you have a prisoner? I'm sort of not really into slavery in my shop.
He is not a prisoner. He is here for his own good.
He sort of mumbles under his breath, the father, I'm a prisoner, just kill me.
We are taking him home.
I just want to die, just finish me off. He sort of like exposes his neck to this shopkeep, and she looks at it kind of disgusted, and she says, perhaps make him wait outside or something.
As you can see, he's not really feeling rational right now, so we're just watching over him.
Yeah, I suppose that's all right. Well, listen, I could tell you guys some information if you want. I mean, I really appreciate the tip that you gave me for that simple piece of loaf there, and she gives you sort of a smile again, Hyre. You know, if you guys want, and she gestures behind you, you notice that there are a couple tables set up in this shop, not nearly as much as you might expect from a coffee shop or anything of that nature, but, you know, you guys could take a second or a beat or two and sit here and eat if you want. Listen, you can sit down and I can just tell you what I know about here if that might help you out. I don't want to sort of scare off new friends because, you know, most of the people here are shitheads anyway.
I would love to
that
sit down.
sounds perfect.
All right. She gestures to the tables, and you see as she does so, a sort of ghostly apparition sort of appears next to the tables and starts cleaning them off.
Nice.
The apparition sort of disappears as quickly as it appeared, and the specter that was there for just a moment looked humanoid for a second and held like a rag in its hand that sort of cleaned off the table and chairs before you guys sat down. You're left with a sort of cold, chilling presence as you sit down, as you pass through where it was.
Is that a ghost?
Oh, yeah. I suppose I should tell you a little bit about this place. I probably bet Zabrix was going to tell you anyway, but I'm just going to give you the cut and dry, because he sort of likes to make things sound real fancy. I don't know if you guys know this, he's actually a teacher.
Oh, well, I mean, we don't know much about him.
Oh, well, he doesn't like people to know this, you know, because he sort of has his own little private portal, but he teaches a class at the academy in Waterdeep.
We have a friend from there. Do you think you could get him back to Waterdeep?
Oh, I don't think I could. I mean, if you ask Zabrix, real nice, but he sort of keeps it private because he doesn't like people coming and going through his own portal. Supposedly it leads to his, like, classroom, and he doesn't like it when monsters and shit come through there.
Is Vinny here with us right now?
Vinny is here. His eyes sort of go wide as you mention Waterdeep, and his little mouth curls up.
I was about to start talking shit about Vinny. I didn't think he was in the room.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he can wait outside.
No, it's okay. He's here. He's from Waterdeep. He's fucking the doll.
But anyway, I guess first thing I should tell you, this place, we're sort of in a, I don't know, has anyone ever told you, there's sort of this word that keeps going around where we're in a sort of crack in between places. I suppose I should be the first to welcome you to the City of Nowhere.
City of Nowhere, that's got the good ring to it.
Wow, it sounds nice. A crack implies, like,
damage, though, almost.
Yeah, it's true actually. Zabrix taught me that this place sort of comes in and out of existence every once in a while. Like whenever it starts collapsing, we all kind of have to flee and find the next one. But this time it's been around for a while, so that's nice.
Whoa. So, does that have to do with the ghosts here?
No. So basically, because we're in between dimensions, in a way, you and I are here, flesh and blood, but things that died, that went to planes that you're supposed to be dead on, they can also come here. So, in the same way you and I are walking around here, some guy who died 100 years ago could be walking around here.
Hey, like what planes specifically?
Well, like Limbo, or the Nine Hells, or Avernus, or, so those kind of places. People can come right here from there, and the problem is, though, there's just they get so close to being alive because they hang out with people who can be alive, but they can't return to the material plane, by cosmic law. So they get stuck right here, so close to living, but not quite.
Cosmic law.
Like another sort of limbo.
Well, it's just sort of that thing, if somebody who's died tries to go through a portal to the material plane, it just spits them right back out.
All right, but it's not like there's cosmic policemen who will come punish accidentally wandered out.
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Okay, well, have you ever met anyone from Valhalla here?
Oh, no, those kind of questions are really meant for Zabrix. I mean, even being sort of the shithead he is a teacher. He's kind of an expert on the subject of plane stuff, so I would really ask him about that sort of stuff. I don't know. I'm just a baker.
All right.
But a good one.
Are you a ghost?
No, flesh and blood. And she sort of like grabs her arm and like squeezes it, doing like a flex pose.
Impressive.
She sort of leans over the counter to talk to you guys. She's like pits her hair in like fistfuls by her the side of her head as she leans over to talk to you all. She looks pretty relaxed and sort of easygoing, at least talking with you. And you sort of notice out of the corner of your eye, staring wide-eyed through the window with a just goofy fucking smile with that crazy old guy you just talked to. She points at the shopkeep and then points back at you guys and then makes what you could only imagine as two hands kissing each other.
To who?
To the shopkeep and then your group.
I do like the wave symbol on my camera. If you're looking, the no kissing.
Not a wave.
No, not that. Yeah, wait, start the wave.
I fall.
Good work, guys.
She continues with her story. You notice she's sort of twirling her hair now. Yeah. So anyway, what was I saying earlier? Yeah, the tides. I don't know if anyone's told you yet, but the weather here is real fucky.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it might just be this spot. It might be everywhere. But late at night, around midnight or 1 a.m., these huge rampant tides, like tidal waves, sweep through the city every night, and they basically destroy anything on ground level. That's why we've had to build so high.
I see.
It sort of floods the area for a couple hours. A couple times a year when the weather is just right and we can predict the tides, we even bring boats out on that water, and sometimes we'll have little festivals, where you get to go out and have your lights out and explore little boat markets and such. It's quite fun.
That
Sounds
nice.
like a dream.
Nice there, but then, of course you don't want to go too high also, and she points up and goes, because the winds up there, they're chill you to the bone, and sometimes they're scalding hot. Whole buildings have been seen collapsing in seconds as these scalding winds burn through them.
Do you think maybe that's because they're close to other planes?
She sort of looks puzzled at that and then goes, nah, I don't know, probably.
Yeah.
So you're sort of in the sweet spot here with your bakery?
Sort of. I'm still a little on the low end, and she points out the window and she says, yeah, the water usually comes up about there. Sometimes I can see into the water a little bit when it's especially high. It comes up real close on my window. So I wish I could be a little higher up, but honestly, this isn't bad, prime real estate and all. She gives a smile.
That must be so scary.
No, it's just a way of life here, I made a name for myself with this shop, and I've been running her for a nice solid 9 years now. I've come to sort of love it.
So what brought you here? Were you born on this plane, or?
Oh no, I stumbled upon it. Sort of one of those, portals in the woods kind of things. I think I had a family once, but I don't really remember. I stumbled upon this tree that I could see through it, and inside the tree was these swirling purple colors, and I sort of fell in, and then I woke up here, and I, never found my way back, so sort of made do.
Do you ever want to?
Nah, I never knew him. My family's sort of here.
Yeah, I get that.
And she smiles for a second, and then the smile disappears, and she sort of looks off.
I always say if you can't remember it, it can't have mattered that much.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's... Go ahead.
If it helps, I recently got separated, from my own people, as a lot of us have. And, I've liked the people I'm traveling with a lot, so it's all about making the best with the people you're with,
Yeah.
She smiles and, gives you a sort of thumbs up for that. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you, I've had my share of the dating scene here, I've had my share of the party scene here, there's a lot of great stuff around, and, I really find it's a nice city once you get to know it.
How'd the dating scene go?
She, sort of loses the smile for a second and goes, fine right now.
I was just wondering, I've never heard of that before.
Oh, nothing special, sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up. Is there anything else you guys want to know?
There's no dating scene where I come from either, Hyre, so...
Yeah. Sorry, doing that awkward thing again. Orofeus, you should talk more.
Yeah, well, where I come from, pretty much no one has sex drives because we're all dead, so the dating scene is pretty much non-existent.
Okay, sorry, I meant DULUM, talk more!
This robot does not have a sex drive installed.
No.
He was thinking on that.
Some ghosts do, though. If they try really hard, they can imagine themselves one. It's been known to happen.
Not that that's relevant to us, since there's no ghosts anywhere.
Hyre, I thought I told you.
I thought we were keeping it from Grimoire or whatever her name is.
Oh, no, I'll tell her.
Oh, okay.
I thought for a second it was illegal to be a ghost, but I think it's just physically improbable to be a ghost.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, Grimoire, I don't know if I made this clear earlier, but I was inquiring about the ghosts because I am one.
Oh, you're a ghost. You look quite flesh and blood for a ghost.
Oh, well, it's not my flesh and blood.
Oh, you're possessing somebody, and you have a slave. I see.
No, it's not on purpose that I'm possessing her. I'm sort of trapped in her body, and that's not my slave, it's DULUM's.
Under arrest, not a slave.
Yeah, I was actually also trying to kind of get this poor woman her body back, but we're figuring that out. We have a lot of things we need to do.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to give her body back. I'm not happy here. I mean, it comes with a fucking... Is Malagus with us?
Yes. He's sort of... He seems very put off by this.
Okay, it comes with a fucking stalker, so there's that.
He sort of shoots you a glare and then turns back and looks out at the city. We should keep moving, you guys. I don't really like sticking around here.
I don't know. I really like this shop.
The half-orc woman sort of looks out at you all. She sort of insights a little bit as to the alignment of your party. Whether or not it really is just luck that you happen to have somewhat evil-looking things happening. But she makes the right assessments and she goes, yeah, I really think you should give that poor girl her body back soon, and I'm glad you got the right mindset on it. And, DULUM, if you really are looking after the law, turn that shithead into the Lady of Pain, She's sort of an asshole, but she does get work done around here.
Do you think
Can she help us in interplanar
she
travel?
could help us return him?
No, she mostly just does dealings here, She knows the town, and that's it. I don't really think she knows much about interplanar travel, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to well, it might hurt to ask. Yeah, it would probably hurt to ask.
It seems like probably a lot of dealings with her hurt.
Yes, well, her punishment is that... Did you know we don't have jails here?
That seems progressive.
Yes, all punishment is giving out immediately.
Yeah, so it sounds like punishment-based.
This is a great step forward.
Yeah, and she scratches at her burned arm passively.
Oh my god, that's horrific! That's awful!
I mean, beats, 10 years in jail, right?
Quite.
I guess, but...
He has to stop.
What'd you do? Sorry if I guess we don't know each other well yet.
She does look a little offended at that, and she goes, what? nothing. Anyway, yeah, if you want to turn him in, and she seems a little put off by that. If you want to turn him in, you can. I'm not that. I don't care that much about it. But you all seem like good people. You know what? How about this? You can each have a biscuit on the house, yeah? And she walks in the back and opens an oven and pulls out of this stone oven a tray of what look like freshly baked biscuits. I just got a batch, and I'd love for you to stop by more. Just ignore the guy outside. I've been trying to get him to leave. And she brings each of you guys. You can add one warm biscuit to your inventory.
It's going right in my face.
Oh
Great.
my
Right
god.
in the face hole.
Yeah, me as well.
As she hands these out to you, she almost hands one to DULUM and goes, "Oh wait, can you eat this?"
This unit can give it to someone.
Oh shit, I'm sorry, man. Hold on. And she puts the biscuit in your hand and runs behind the counter again. You see her sort of dig through a cupboard for a moment. There's a clanging noise, and she's like, "Hold on, I think I got it around here somewhere." And after a moment, she goes, "Aha, yes!" And she returns with a big, toothy, half-orc smile on her face, and she goes, "Listen, you seem like really nice people, and I want the best for you, so you have this." And she thrusts into your hands, DULUM, what looks like almost like a ticket. It has a bronze color, and it's kind of thick. It's like a tablet of sorts, very thin, like a strip of metal, and it has a symbol on the top that almost looks like a very minimalist, abstract frog.
What is this?
And she goes, "Listen, I'm sort of friends with the guy who runs the, there's a shop. It's sort of over by where Zabrex is, actually. It's called the Broken Compass. You should check it out. Warforged and auto-gnomes and, creatures like you, they could go there and sort of get cleaned up. So this sort of thing, it's like a one free cleanup for you."
Very considerate. Thank you.
Yeah, get a tune-up. The kid there, he's so nice. You'll love him.
Thank you.
Real genius, that guy. Anyway, yeah, so please feel free to stop by anytime. I'm I'm still on the clock now, so I'm probably going to get back to bacon in the back. But, if you guys are ever around, give me a hoot. My name's Grimwalk.
Grimwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to meet you, Grimwalk.
Yeah, pleasure. Stop by anytime. And she, gives you all guys all a smile as you depart.
I do want to hold out my hand for a farewell handshake.
Okay, you do so, and she takes it and shakes it firmly. You notice that as she takes it with her right arm, despite her having a very firm-looking right hand, she doesn't squeeze you that hard at all. It sort of gives you the dead fish.
Okay, I do the thing where I take it with my other hand and then pull her in close, and I say, "If you ever die, you might go to Valhalla since you're a warrior. If you go to Valhalla, look for Queen Ridice. She'll take care of you."
I feel like you just did like a Brock moment, and we have to wheel you in right now.
That did feel like, yeah. Give me I don't know what you even need to roll here. A persuasion check, I guess.
Okay.
She would probably be weirded out by this comment.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's see how candid you are.
Troll 1, maybe.
How many?
Oh, reliable.
You-
Wow. Okay. All the
She
charm
hates us
that you had
now.
built up, with talking with her, you see just flood off of her face, and instead it is replaced by this just look of almost disgust as she goes, "Oh, I don't like people trying to convert me. All right, that's really not my thing. So don't pull that shit on me again.
Not a religion, just some advice. Seek me out.
Just piss off
He
about that. All right?
didn't mean it. Pulling you away.
I let myself be pulled.
And she waves you guys all out as you leave. As you leave, Malaga sort of leans over and he goes, "Man, you really fucked that up."
You mean me?
Oh yeah, I really thought we could maybe use her for information or perhaps, rob the store when it wasn't tended one day, but now she's gonna keep an eye on us forever because you fucked that.
Okay, wait. Okay, first off, we
Well,
never
first of
robbed
all,
the
we weren't
door.
going to steal.
Yes, never,
Oh
ever.
yes, of course. We never steal.
Second off, I thought this went well. She liked us. She chatted with us so long, and she gave us all this. And I want to reach into the bag of raisin bread and just pull off a chunk and start also eating that.
Okay, it tastes really good. You don't remember food that well, but so far you've had some rations and stuff, and something about this raisin is hitting you just in the sweet spot. It's like your jaw feels activated.
I make a lot of food enjoying noises that I'm not gonna do on the podcast.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Karma
Google.
probably, or Hyre probably does the same. And I don't know about you guys, that was about as well as the conversation has ever gone for me.
I thought it went perfectly. I don't know where you guys are coming with this negative attitude.
As you guys leave, the Tufto, the crazed wizard, sort of like gives you guys a giddy wave on the way out. Great to see you guys again. I'll catch you on the flip.
I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah. Can't wait. He seems like giddy with excitement.
One more hug.
Just as he finishes, you see him stand up and point at someone else in the crowd and start walking up to him and go,
Oh.
"Whoa, I haven't seen you in forever."
No.
Oh.
Well,
Probably
Yeah,
just a coincidence.
just one more time, Hyre's gonna get teary-eyed and be like, well, like, we did just make one real friend, I guess.
Yeah,
I
Hyre,
don't know why that was so upsetting, but it really is. I felt like we had such a connection.
Yeah.
Malagus sort of goes, "What do you guys mean? That guy was crazy. You know that's like a bum, right?"
Well,
He seemed so
we would-
friendly.
we wouldn't even have known to talk to Grimlock if not for him.
What?
He
It
knew
was
our
her
names.
shop. You got hassled by a bum outside of her shop.
But
But
I-
he knew our names.
I didn't know she was a potential friend, and now she's an ally.
True, I wouldn't have tried to make. Well, maybe I don't know. I feel like I went into that conversation with a lot of confidence and suave that I wouldn't have managed without, Tufto's encouragement. Also, Hyre's.
We made a good team.
Listen, can I interrupt you all? Malagus sort of gets a stern voice for a second. He goes, "Listen, can I interrupt you for a second? Can I interrupt this weird shit, right? How often do you all travel? Let's be real, right? None? Can I hear none?
This
A
is my
lot.
first time.
None, yeah, that's right, none. So basically, I think I'll be taking over the sort of leadership role that's been vacuuming, just vacuuming. The suck is so awful here. Just because clearly somebody needs to put our priorities straight, all right? First thing you do when traveling is find a lodge. Have you guys thought about where you're sleeping tonight yet? Probably not.
Malagus, for you to be elected, the majority of the group would have to at least like you, I feel.
I thought you were leaving the party.
I'm electing myself. But you know whose vote I have? I have the father's vote.
You keep promising you'll leave, and then you're still here.
At least I have the father's vote, all right? That's the vote that counts. I have the religious vote. I have
You
the
can't vote his
Malagus,
father.
I'm sorry, but you don't have my vote right now.
Well, we need to find a lodge.
As the highest ranking officer, I think it's up to me, and I say we find that guy who will send Benny back to Waterdeep, and then me back to Valhalla.
Well, you think that'll happen overnight? People don't give you shit for free, you know. You have
I'm
to
hoping
work
it won't
for
happen in the night. I'm thinking right now. I don't really want to have to go through the whole tides and whatever.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. If tides come at night, then surely we can't be expected to sleep on the ground downstairs, which is what I'm sure you ingrates were thinking anyway. So perhaps I can go through the dutiful action of finding us some lodging for tonight. Sound good?
I was gonna go back to
specifically-
group.
Yeah, we should probably go talk to her again.
But
I was
what?
just
Ask her to
thinking we would
sleep
sleep
in her home?
Yeah.
If I sleep in her bed next, is that what you want to ask?
No, I don't
No.
have a sex drive.
Stop talking about your sex drive!
It's not installed, I hear.
It just keeps coming up.
And just so you know, DULUM, she did call you dirty, is what she did by handing you that ticket.
I think you're all dirty.
No. She
You
was
were in
being
the
an
sewers.
ally.
Filthy
It is an
what she was
objective
calling.
fact.
All of you are in the sewers, except me and Malagus, and I think Malagus was dirty before. And I'm dirty too, actually. I mean, these clothes are disgusting.
It's true, you do have a vile appearance.
Yes.
So listen, what if
Sure,
this? I'm
if it
gonna
makes
break
you
up
happy,
now.
we'll find lodging.
Clearly, following you around making friends is really grating on my nerves. So what if I go find lodging, and I find you later, and I present you with my expert finds, and you all say, "Thank you, Malagus, for being team leader." How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that sounds great, Malagus. Thank you.
Good. You know what? I'll even pay for the first night, because clearly none of you people accept drinks, so I guess I'll pay for your shitty bed and bath. And breakfast, I suppose, if that's included.
That's really kind of you, Malagus.
What are you buying for breakfast?
Or whatever the breakfast is served at the inn, I assume. If they even have inns here.
Can you make sure it has raisins?
He shoots you like a real mean look and says, "Yeah, I'll do that." And he snaps away and turns off and he says, "Listen, message me or whatever with your magic-y spells later tonight when you all get tired. I'll have it ready for you. And he waves a hand over his back of his head.
Once
Bye,
he's gone, I
Malgus.
say to the others, do any of you guys have magics to message?
Yes, and so does
Oh.
DULUM.
Do we have to?
Very
I
well.
think
I don't know.
Malgus.
Maybe we just don't message him tonight.
I think there's like a 30% chance he doesn't come back either way.
Great.
He keeps doing
But
this
I kind of
thing-
liked when he was nice at the end. If he like does stuff for us, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if he actually pays for our lot, but do you guys? It's just him being negative, thinking we're not gonna make it home by today, right? That's not.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we can only make it to. Let's say I feel like we could only make it to one place by the end of the day, and we don't know like which place that is. You know,
I see. This time
The
we're
job
just
should be
taking
done.
his thought.
it's okay. We just got to keep pushing.
Just got to keep pushing, getting back to Queen. Yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, it sounds like I can get home tonight because I live in Waterdeep. You guys want to come to my home? I can like treat you for a while.
I will say that does seem like the next logical stop.
How nice
It's a
is your
great
home,
city.
Vinny?
You know, there's a lot of knowledgeable people. There's a whole academy in Waterdeep. Did you know that? There's like scholars and stuff. If anywhere in the whole wide world is gonna know about your planes and whatever and how to get back to them, it's probably the scholars there.
That's a
That
good
and
point.
Zephrix probably.
Yeah, well, that guy, if he lives here and he works in Waterdeep, then he sounds scary. Because the real Waterdeepers, or Waterdeepians, what the fuck do you call people from Waterdeep?
Huh.
Water Deepians.
Waterdeepians, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna say people from Waterdeep. Us folks from Waterdeep, we just, you know, if you don't grow up on the mean streets of Waterdeep, then how are you supposed to, you know, live there right? And if he doesn't live there, then what's he doing? He's doing nothing right.
If he doesn't live in Waterdeep, he's doing.
Yeah, I got a little lost there, Vinny.
Yeah, I did too. What I mean to say is, if he helps, then he helps. But I know that there's probably more scholars who live in Waterdeep who are real
Oh.
Waterdeepians who I can respect.
Yes, and we're very thankful for your help, Vinny.
I know I'm not that helpful. Me and Bagatha have been talking about how we're probably the anchor of this group, except of course the cow, which is the actual anchor.
He is no fucking anchor. He is nothing but a delight. The fucking cow has a fucking name, and his fucking name is fucking Gravy, and he's such a fucking delight, and you just don't fucking know it because you haven't fucking. Ugh.
Yeah, because he's gonna be gravy soon once I treat him real nice and put him in the stew that Pa always makes.
He is my baby. He is my child.
Is this the same Pa who is the blacksmith?
Yeah, that's right. He's pretty good at cooking stuff.
I will say, Vinny, you know, you're not dead weight in this group, and on top of that, our group is doing great. We're doing just fine, you know? So, you know,
You think so?
yeah, we're doing good,
No.
right, guys?
That's really
Malagus is
sweet.
buying us a hotel room, which means he's satisfied with our performance, I suppose. So, yeah, we're probably doing good.
I think we're doing as good as we can, right?
Right, you guys.
Right.
Let's find the wizard. Then he can tell us we've done a good job and send us home.
Alright.
I
Alright,
start
so,
looking for stairs, baby.
Oh yeah.
Stair City, baby, Stair City. So you guys continue heading upward in the great towers until you reach, you know, the next floor. Up here you run into what looks like no longer a shop. This looks to be some sort of office, like a business park. The way most of these buildings are sort of set up, it seems to be like the walkways are rings around a building, or sometimes through a building. Again, a lot of these seem to be old houses that have been reused as commercial buildings now. But so then a lot of the walkways sort of have these open air. You're covered above, but you have this view of the city to the side. It still is somewhat bright out, as it is sort of like midday creeping toward evening. As you continue up the floors, you pass more of these sort of business parks. You see the law offices of Grumpsh and Goober.
Oh, yeah.
You also pass a physician's office, which looks to be some sort of healer who practices medicine. It looks to be sort of like an anything but the sawbone kind of doc.
I've heard anyone can work in those places. Any variety
Anyone?
of degrees, yeah. They just let anybody in nowadays.
I hear they just let anyone in. So you continue now, and eventually you make your way up to about the 4th floor, and you don't really consider the people up here as significantly wealthier in appearance, but do notice the sort of jovial spirit, the nature of people here is much happier. There's this sort of high energy here that everyone seems to be more relaxed. There's more laughing as groups pass you. You see creatures from all over. There are elven people here. You see drow here. You even see drow and elves like hanging out in the same group here. There are halflings, and you see a pack of kobolds go by at some point that all sort of give you like a kobold nod. Hyre.
I'm really excited about it.
They're all happy to see you. You are blue. None of them are blue, which sort of makes you stand out. They're all sort of greens, but nevertheless, you still feel very a part of their group.
Wait, sorry, wait.
You have yet to see any constructs yet, just because I assume, DULUM, you're keeping an eye out. But as you crest onto the 4th floor, you run into a human with a golem companion.
Golem.
The golem follows behind the human, roughly 7 feet tall, about the height of you, Jaya, as you walk with them. The golem sort of gives you guys a blank stare as it goes by. It looks to be some sort of clay golem, and its human master doesn't regard you at all and looks to be carrying a bundle of papers downstairs, likely to one of the offices that you had seen before. The golem sort of lumbers after him, and you are still met with just a kindling of all sorts of creatures. You see dragonborn, you see tieflings, you see a plasmoid at one point. There are Azamar here, as well as Aarakocra.
So cool.
All sort of very intermingled. It seems like the primary races are still sort of the primary races of the material plane. You see mostly humans, elves, and dwarves here, with some halflings sprinkled in. But the sort of more unusual races of the material plane that you're used to seeing in pockets in places are now here, representing a varied minority population, a very diverse group of people.
Tiefling.
So you continue up and what?
No, Isaac.
Tiefling.
You continue up and eventually you pass another bulletin board. This one also plastered with a few of those propaganda posters discussing the Lady of Pain watching over you. But also on here looks to be some actually fun things. It looks like they explained that there was a circus that came through town just about a week ago that just finished up a few days ago. It's some sort of interdimensional traveling circus. Supposedly there was a demon that was offering deals to people that the sign for the deals say, no strings, no loopholes, get a real devil deal, no problem. Make all your dreams come true.
I've heard you should never fucking do that.
Really funny.
The devil on the front page looks like a very friendly, handsome-looking, almost like a tiefling, and you imagine that is likely just the appearance that they have chosen. But they sort of extend a hand out to you. Thank you for the fogs.
Tiefling.
We literally have a tiefling traveling with us. We just all hate him because he's Vinny.
No, he's full-blood devil.
I love Vinny!
DULUM decided he's ugly.
How dare you?
Well, we can agree that Vinny doesn't have the same sexual charisma tieflings are meant to.
Oh, I'm going against the grain.
Okay, but he's funny silly.
He is funny silly. Nobody sleeps with the funny guy. Eventually you creep your way past the bulletin board. You also notice the bulletin board had a couple job offers. It was sort of menial gold for pay. It sounded like something like there was a trouble in a local tavern where there was some sort of rat infestation that they couldn't get out of their of the basement areas, and they were looking for people to clear that out for gold. There was also gold rewards for turning people in to the Lady of Pain, who have been secretly plotting against her.
It's literally 1984.
They do double think here. Or is it double talk?
You're double talking.
I'm double talking right now.
It's double speak, right?
Is it double? That's right. Double speak and thought crime.
I'm
Thank
thought
you.
criming you.
You cannot thought crime me. I'm gonna double speak you.
Wow.
I only
Understand
single
double
speak.
talk.
I only single speak.
What the fuck?
Disgusting. And you also see there is an add-on here for the place that you saw that you were told about earlier called the Broken Compass, where it says has a machine that needs fixing, and it has a giant gear icon. And It says, "Come to the Broken Compass." There's a small addendum onto this on the bottom that says, "Now serving golems."
Oh.
If you also, if any of you ever want to spend more time like figuring stuff out about this town, you can look at this more. But you guys continue up, resolute in your mission to find Zavrix. As you crest onto the 5th floor, you cross one of these bridges that you had seen from the ground, and up here now you really get a nice view of the city and the forest beyond. And as you guys sort of look out, both out onto the city, you see the breadth of it. It is not a large city by any means. You think the population is probably in the realm of like 5,000, maybe 10,000 at most. While it's very tall, it is just not very wide. It sort of goes from these tall buildings directly to forest without much in between. But you get to look out on the forest itself. You see it sort of trails off in every direction, but what's unusual is that in every direction, it sort of ends abruptly about what you would guess is 30 or 40 miles away. You're not sure what this is. It could be a steep drop-off as if you're on the top of a cliffside, or maybe there's some sort of waterway out there that you can't see, but the ending of it sort of ends with the cosmic galaxies that are above you that sort of stream across the sky and end in the distance in every direction. The horizon is flecked with these beautiful bright galaxies, and they almost seem to end right at the point that the forest does. And you all sort of reflect on Grimwalk telling you that this place is not that big, this plane, and it sort of all of a sudden feels very claustrophobic, thinking that the entire ends of your world could just be roughly 100 miles in total. Nevertheless, though, the city is still pretty large, and you guys make your way across the bridge. The stars are beautiful. As you cross it, you reach right in front of a shop. This is another shop. This one looks to be some sort of restaurateur's shop. It looks to sell all sorts of pots, pans, cups. It's a Williams-Sonoma. I wrote a Williams-Sonoma, you guys.
Thank God.
You continue now, and the sort of curving around the edge of your Williams-Sonoma, you pass 2 taverns that both seem to be kicking up for the night a little bit. They're right next door to one another, so you imagine they're probably rivals in some way. They likely serve different clientele, though. You curve around, mission-focused, passing another shop. This looks to be sort of a general goods store. You guys sort of make note of it. It looks to sell sort of classic adventuring supplies. It has a couple bladed weapons in there and some armor. This looks to be sort of your general goods store that you would be used to. You also then pass sort of off to the side, nestled into one of these buildings tightly, is a building called the Broken Compass. It looks to be a materials shop of some point, and it looks the exterior is almost steampunk in nature. There's all sorts of gears and pipes sticking out, and it gives a very machinous look that to you, DULUM, kind of reminds you of home.
That's awesome.
A beauty.
But you guys want to continue on?
Yeah.
All right. Single-minded and meeting the guy who left a random sign in the street.
He's the master of portals.
I mean, I obviously want to check everything out.
You guys make your way. I will reintroduce you to all these places if you guys are still in this town and you're wanting to explore them. But for now, you make your way up one last floor to reach what looks to be a beautiful house. It honestly does look like just a house. It sort of has these blue hues and bright colors and almost neons on the edges. And you sort of see this just gorgeous landscape in front of you, as it's very well designed on the outside with plant life around the edges. And on the very top, it says Zavrax's home.
I'm walking up.
Oh yeah.
I might kick another door open.
I already know the guy.
Kicking more doors.
Yeah.
You notice that the door is closed here.
Are we ready to say, is there anything, knock knock?
Yeah, we should probably knock.
Bang, bang, bang. I know.
Okay, brap, brap, brap. No immediate response.
I thought he would be here.
I didn't think we'd be waiting.
Oh, guess we have time to go explore. There were a lot of really cool people downstairs.
He did say to find him.
Didn't Grimwalk point him out when we were on the lower floor? Was he here or?
Oh yeah, that's true.
A couple seconds go by, then all of a sudden you hear a sound coming from the inside. Coming!
Oh god.
Silence for a few moments. And you hear a rustling inside as a bunch of what sounds like metallic clanging happens. It sounds like furniture being overturned, and you hear a whistle sound for a second, and you hear a "God damn it! Just 1 second." And about a full minute goes by and nothing happens. Would you guys like to do anything?
I hope Hattie transcends campaign.
No, see, I need you guys were broken down too fast on assuming everyone was a changeling at some point, so we need a reset. Hard reset.
That's true. You could, honestly, if you don't put any changelings in this campaign until, like, episode 50, you could really catch us off guard.
Oh, yeah.
That's horrible. I've already had changeling, like, radar. Like,
Really?
pop
Radar's
off, like an
on.
alarm. I'm like, oh, this guy could be a changeling.
It's like, I still have compulsive, anyone could be a family, a relative radar.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, old man outside the shop, easy. Pegged them immediately,
Easy
changeling.
combat.
Yep.
It made a...
See, I've been diligently holding back the relative accusations because I don't think Orofeus would think that way, but it's hard. It's hard to shake Finn's neuroses.
Yeah, same. Because my character would just think everyone was a changeling anyways.
But now you're playing someone new who thinks everyone's secretly a robot. It's just like Westworld.
Oh my god.
But it's not because no one's a robot in Westworld.
Yeah.
True.
Wouldn't that be a fucked up twist if in Westworld it was like the Prestige and
It's
they're
all
just
real
twins?
people.
So, a couple minutes go by now, and really nothing has happened. You guys feel like your time is sort of being wasted.
Do you think that was like a ringtone?
It's possible.
I'll try the door. Is it unlocked?
It is unlocked.
I'll open and start going.
DULUM, you can't just break into people's house.
They said, come in.
Didn't
Oh.
break anything. I'll follow.
Yeah, I'll go too.
As you guys can, you've been wandering through the strange purple-lit streets and bridges of Circad. You are struck by the sort of chaotic yet strangely inviting appearance of this room that you're walking in. Inside, you see a sort of amalgamation of different styles of architecture. To you, Oro, this is a nightmare. It's as if chunks of homes from different planes had been haphazardly stitched together. Like, one wall to your left is made of a smooth, shimmering crystal. Another on the right is gnarled roots that pulse faintly with lights. The ceiling is sort of star-speckled with metal curves, constantly shifting as though alive. The entrance you pass through is sort of a large arched door, and as you make your way in, you see almost every surface in here is just covered with trinkets and objects. It is a hoarder's paradise in here. It's shaped this way very purposefully. It's sort of like an entrance hallway and then a main room. What seems to dominate the main room is this enormous glowing blue centerpiece on the wall, but I will get to that in just a moment. As you guys make it in, you see things from all over, left everywhere. You see little clockwork gears from Mechanus sort of left around, a sort of drifting ethereal fabric from the Feywild, a glass jar of swirling mist labeled a plane of elemental air. You see shelves cluttered with books and trinkets and objects, likely all written in languages of other planes. On the end of this room is what you could imagine is Zavrix's prized possession, which is a massive, truly massive, the size of the room itself, cracked mirror. It stretches from the floor to the ceiling, and it's taller than a 2-story building on the inside here. The mirror is broken into hundreds of jagged shards, yet these shards don't reflect the room. They instead show glimpses of other places, strange dimensions, flickering alien skies. Occasionally, one of the shards floats free from the mirror, hovering briefly before drifting back into place. Zabrix himself, who you have not seen yet, seems to have fashioned a sort of crude workstation around the mirror. You see an array of odd tools, half-built constructions, various spell components. The floor is a sort of maze of these components. You see a giant conch shell the size of a person with a label on it that says fragile. Some papers are burnt at the edges around, while others seem to be permanently on fire. On a table near the mirror sits a small tray that you see filled with slivers of the broken glass. Each piece is sort of glowing faintly. You imagine that's the core of the workstation. And as you are sort of looking around this room, sort of jumping out from behind a control panel is the following figure, who I will now give you a look at. Let me send my picture.
Wow.
This is an Eladrin.
Oh.
You see jumping out is a sort of scatterbrained Eladrin wizard. He wears sort of tight-fitting pants that bear other seasonal colors.
Sort of. Those are tight skin, baby.
Currently, they sort of have a fall look to them. He bears on his side 2 rapiers and a mask of many faces that you all recognize. On his torso, he wears drapes and a sort of shawl that fits around his body as a poncho might. And on his head, of course, he wears a beautiful, long-brimmed cap with 3 feathers sticking out, 1 white, 1 red, and 1 blue. His skin is a bright yellow, so vibrant that it sort of jumps out at you, and he has sort of long, ratty yellow hair that comes out at an odd angle. The most striking feature of his is his giant, crooked smile that sort of curves around his face a little bit longer than a normal smile should, giving you a sort of air of uncanny valley.
I don't like it. It's scary.
Real man.
As you all see him jump out, he goes, "Oh, you must have gotten my note! Welcome, welcome, welcome." And he runs around and he tries to shake all of your hands as fast as possible. He moves pretty fast. You notice, perhaps because of the tightness of his pants, he sort of has this like athletic speed to him, a high dexterity that you
His
notice
pants
that
give
allows
his
him to sort of
dex.
move around a lot.
Whoa.
He's just so skin tight.
Yeah, he's so toned.
Does he look muscular at all, or like toned, or like?
I mean, he looks as he does in this image, which is just sort of a standard body build. He is slightly taller than most Eladrin, coming up to what you would guess is like 5'10", 5'11". And his
He's huge.
arms are pretty well obscured by this like cloak sort of thing that he's wearing, so it's sort of hard to tell his muscularity.
Okay, yeah, but he can't hide an inch of those calves. What are they looking like?
You'd say like the average toneness that you know what? Actually, give me a insight check.
Oh yeah.
Do they like pop when he walks?
I want an
Does he
insight
like? Does he stand in a way that really just flexes them? Does he do it on purpose? I want to know if he does those calf raises.
Yeah, that's gonna be an insight check.
17, baby. Orofeus is well versed in the male calf. Oh,
Perfect.
holy shit!
What?
But it's nothing like DULUM.
And
Poor
nothing
Jaya.
like me.
DULUM and Jaya just appreciate the
22.
male form.
What can I say? I know the male body.
I guess all 3 of you can identify that he sort of has the body type of an adventurer. This is somebody who probably spends a majority of the day not really cooped up. This is somebody who probably is out and about a lot. And from sort of the jumping back and forth that he does between you all, you sort of think that the tonedness of his body probably correlates a lot to his fighting style, which you sort of notice the 2 rapiers that he has on both sides of his hips. And that sort of indicates to you that you think, while he is a wizard, you think he likely does a lot of swordplay as well, and he needs a lot of speedy movement for that, which would imply the tonedness of his calves.
If he's what Finn was in the past life, I think I will cry.
Okay, guys, I made Bladesinger cooler.
What the fuck? Finn was
second-
so
Just cooler,
cool.
just cooler.
The second I saw those fucking what are those swords? I knew it. And then he's talked about his skin tight jeans and his athleticism. God damn it, you bastard.
Sorry, Finn did it all without the skin tight jeans to help. So, saying.
That's the
Gotta go
difference.
for something.
So, Zavrix jumps between each of you, shaking your hand quickly and saying, "Hello, I'm Zavrix. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you." He shakes each of you, sort of leaning down for DULUM and Hyre, and he even goes so far as to shake. I will say I would probably guess that that Vinny and Bagatha would wait outside for this because you guys are sort of like breaking into a house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they taking care of Gravy?
Yes, they're keeping a look after your swine.
His name is Gravy, and I really feel like he's being disrespected, and like, you know, he surely just is a member of the party.
Yeah.
He is a member of the group.
He
Good
jumps
boy.
between each of you guys, though, with excitement, and he goes, yes. It's so great to meet you all. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you must have got my letter. Interplanar travels at my home. Oh, what a glorious day. Oh, it's such a pleasure. And your names?
Orofeus.
Hyre, Valea.
Sergeant Jaya.
Referred to as DULUM.
Yes, good. Yes. Oh, this is such a pleasure. Please welcome to my home. I'm sorry, I'm a bit all over the place here. I've misplaced my cat.
Your
What
cat?
what's his name?
Oh, you see, I had a familiar. See, a long-haired, sort of speckled orange tabby that I was quite close with, and well, she really matched my complexion. And he gestures to his face and gives this killer grin that has the sharp teeth running all the way back to his jaw. It gives you a really uncanny look. The smiles that he gives you do not at all appear happy. They appear almost like a predator smile, as if you imagine a wolf snarling. It's very weird to watch. But he's still, his eyes light up with excitement as he discusses his cat. Yes, it was a really sad thing, See, I summon her most days, but I did summon her today, and I've lost her. I believe maybe she got lost again out there in the wilds. So I'm really quite remiss. I'm really beside myself. I can't focus at all. But anyway, what can I do for you all? I'd love to learn more about you.
We're hoping you could send us home to the plains from which we come.
Oh, home, my poor cat had a home here once.
Do you want us to help find your cat? We wouldn't
In
mind,
return,
right,
can we
guys?
get home? Please.
What?
Yes. I suppose I've just been beside myself. If you wouldn't mind, it would really mean a lot, and I could really sit down and appreciate your conversation. It might be a little bit of a journey, though. Is that quite all right?
Exactly does your cat hail from?
Well, it's a familiar, see, so she was born in the Feywild, so I would need you to go there and find her for me.
Where?
Oh, I don't know if we can get to there. Can't you just resummon her tomorrow?
Oh, no, not a problem. Is this something you're willing to help me with? I'm hearing some yeses. Can I get some yeses? And he points his fingers at all of you.
I have a conditional yes.
Some conditional yeses, yes. Well, how about this?
There's a war that I'm fighting in, so I sort of need to get back to it.
My conditional yes is that if we help, we will get sent home. Peace.
Well, you're telling me that you think that and you see Zavrik sort of throws his hands in his head and he goes, my poor baby, she was called Nibble, Nibble, because she would just nibble at people's feet and toes.
Listen, I know you love your pet. I love my pet. You see, I would do anything for Gravy.
That sounds pretty cute.
See, thing is, if you're native from here, I feel like you know the ins and outs of a quid pro quo, if you will.
Nibble,
So
Nibble loved quid pro quos. Did you know this?
yes, so I believe that Nibble would approve of this deal.
Yes, quite. And it sounds like we have ourselves a deal. And you see the energy of this Eladrin before you changes immediately, and that wicked smile curves back over his face, and he goes, all right, quid pro quo then, yes? You help me find my cat Nibbles, and what I'll do is I'll hear you all out and do the best I can to help.
Is this one of those devil deals I've heard of?
Devil? No, I am elfkin.
I would need a swear that she'll send me home. I have a pet back home. His name is Bisk, and he's my squire, and without me, he's going to be very remiss.
A pet? You call your squire a pet?
Well, he's a handful. I'll say that. And no one's looking after him right now.
Before you send us off into the Feywild, could I ask a few more questions?
You see Zabrix has now sat down and is working intricately on that sort of small tray filled with slivers of glass. You see he's almost cutting himself on a couple of these, drawing blood every once in a while, but he sort of works through the pain.
Is he doing it on purpose?
Yeah, he looks very focused all of a sudden, and his hands move quickly like he's done this many times before. It looks like he's starting to use these shards as spell components, and every now and then one of them flickers with energy and then vanishes, likely sent through a portal he opened. The air begins to smell faintly of ozone, with the occasional hint of a strange alien scent drifting in. And there's
Before
almost
something happens, I want to go outside and tell them that we might be gone for a little bit, in case this bitch sucks us in without us knowing.
Yeah, we'll miss you. Should we go stay with Malagus then?
Find Malagus. Tell him we're not in any big trouble. We're just going to the Feywild.
Yeah, I can do that. That's sort of far away, though. Is Waterdeep there? Should I go there?
No.
No.
Waterdeep is not there.
Zavrix continues spinning his hands, and a crackling energy fills the air. Strange whispers begin to echo around, and the house itself begins to come alive with the hum of some engine. You see the mirror begins to flux, and instead of hundreds and hundreds of small images, all of a sudden they all change into one giant blue image. And you all get a shiver thrown through your body. And all of a sudden he stops and he pulls his hands up. You see both of his hands are sort of bloodied with red, and he wipes them quickly off on his cloak and goes, Right then, all right, right this way, and he points toward the portal. This is how I travel between dimensions. You see, I use this mirror. I found it many eons ago, and I was able to use it, and I can control it, and none of you should touch it, though. The last person who touched it, that wasn't me. They were sucked into a strange dimension, and they haven't returned.
Oh God!
He sort of looks down and goes, Yes, it was awful. It started as one of my students' field trips. Ugh.
Oh God!
Anyway, I don't want that happening again. So please, make sure not to touch anything in my lab here, or my home. I don't want any of you getting hurt.
Understood.
As a man with the record of licking things, I'm going to wrap my hands around a piece of fabric.
Right. And I'll tell you everything more about me when I get home. I can't think of anything else but my poor cat. It's just such a tragedy. Anyway, you really should get going now. And you do start to feel a pull.
Oh, I knew this bitch was gonna do that shit. I knew this bitch was gonna that's why I wanted to fucking tell Vinny and all them before he fucking left. And they were like, oh, they abandoned us. No, that wasn't it.
Hyre, you're holding the raisin bread, right? We didn't leave that with one of the fellows outside?
Oh, I'm munching on it, yeah.
Oh, could you toss me a handful?
Oh, yeah.
How do we find your cat?
That is a good question.
Zavrix walks over to you and says, what model are you? What model are you?
Aggressive approach.
This one has been referred to as DULUM.
DULUM. Oh, you're an autognome. Yeah. I've seen you in the fields out in in Mechanus. They've got some of you. Hold on a second. And you see him dig through his pants pockets for a second and pull out a couple spell components, and he squashes them between his hands roughly, and he kind of winces as he does so. And you see a clear image in your mind, DULUM, that you will never forget because you have a perfect memory of the exact dimensions and qualities and meow and shape and color of a sort of beige tabby cat with orange spots.
What does he like? Does he like anything? Does he like cheese? Does he like pets?
DULUM, you think you can answer that question, which is this creature appears to like things that hum, crackling energies.
Oh, what an interesting kitty.
And metal. This cat really likes metal.
Oh.
Zavrix sort of wishes you all away, and he says, "Listen, I'll be in contact with you. All right, I'll send to you all, and make sure you're all doing quite well on the other side. I've been so worried about my cat, and there's just so much cleaning I have to do." And he gestures around the room, and I really don't want you all to see the state of my house like this. So I should really need to have you be going now.
Okay, I guess.
All right. When we do this, Zavrix, you'll send us home.
I'll do my best to hear you out and listen to what you're having to do. Do you want to tell me now what you're doing?
We need to gain something from this.
Yeah.
Wow, very transactional. I thought you were good aligned people.
You said quid pro quo.
Full
This
neutral.
feels like we're getting manipulated.
I mean, neutral. Wait, I forget.
This is a transaction.
You see, he sort of gets nervous about this, and he goes, transaction, I'm not very good with those. I'm much better at giving directions. See, it's what makes me a good instructor. But if you don't want instructions, you want transactions, and he gets sort of nervous, and the sucking of the portal stops for a moment.
Are you okay?
He doesn't respond, and he sort of looks up, and he goes, well, you don't have to do it now. I guess you don't really care about Nibbles. Of course, only I would. I was really worried about her, and I wanted her back, but you're right. I guess I don't have anything I could offer you right now, so fine. I'll just go find something else to do.
Well, wait, can't you send us back to our port? Isn't your whole thing planar transportation? So can't you send us back to our planes?
And he sort of gets snappy as you say that. Well, who said I was good at it?
It seems you're very good at it. If
So
I
I
may
feel
say.
like we've struck a chord.
Can you send us to Waterdeep?
His eyes sort of squint as you say that, and he goes, I have some connections in Waterdeep. I could perhaps send you there, or how about this? Perhaps if you help me with my feline companion, I'll let you use my connections to get to Waterdeep. How about that?
Yeah,
Oh,
at least
and
one of us that
I'll
gets to
even
go
allow you-
home.
I'll even allow you a return if you'd like.
Yes, I think we should take that deal.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
this could be arranged then. And he sticks out a hand and he says, let's make a deal.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that to me. Don't say those dirty, nasty fucking words.
His hand is extended perfectly out in the most prime handshake position.
Can
is
you
this supposed to
outline
be
the
magically
details of
binding?
this deals? Can I see? Is there any fine print? Any implications of this?
I need your help.
Well, how about this? First, can I have your name?
Full?
Can I int check?
Yeah, I feel like I need to check because there's no way Orofeus would see through that, but
I feel like I would.
Can I do?
Yeah,
I
an
also feel like
insight
I
check?
am.
Could
Give
I
me an
do
insight check.
Okay.
I'm int checking the thing.
I got 21.
Yep, inciting this guy's just fucking evil.
I want to insight if he has any malicious intent.
13, so not great for me.
That's just not my problem.
All right, 16, baby. Am I introducing myself?
Before he sort of extended the hand to Jaya at this point.
Okay.
So you don't quite get a chance to cut off Jaya before Jaya. You're not sure why you feel this, but you feel really unnerved by what's happening, and your warrior's instinct tell you that whatever is happening right now you don't want to engage with, and you should just cut it off right now and ignore whatever's just happened.
Actually, you know what, guys? My heart isn't in this.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
What do you mean?
Zabrix looks sort of concerned at you all by no one responding, and he keeps his hand out and he looks around and he looks at DULUM and he says, "How about you?"
DULUM, don't do it. Don't shake this guy's hand.
I rolled a 19.
All right, you can think what Isaac thinks.
Okay. You may not have this unit's name, but this unit is willing to strike another deal.
No.
Should he not have my name?
He reaches the hand out to you, Hyre. You got a 13. What do you, just based on what Carter's thinking, what do you want to do?
The way that Carter's, it's for Carter to think what Carter is a 13 and Isaac's was a 16.
That feels hateful. Can't believe you say that.
You made the DC.
Did I just mute her for everyone or just for me?
I think it's just for this specific situation. I don't think that's standard. Carter rolls a 13, and that's whatever he thinks.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm scared as shit as this guy, and I think he is purposefully manipulating us and tricking us. Yes.
Okay. You think that? You think you feel sort of confident in that? You think that'll probably lead you down a good path? As nobody takes his hand, Zabrix sort of fumes for a moment and goes, "Oh, I just wanted some friends, all right? I'm sorry, that was a bit rude. I need some help, and I really need my cat, and I can't do this anymore." And he stomps off. You see him walk over to one of these sort of ethereal walls, and push on a secret door that you hadn't noticed. It flies open right over here by these sort of blue corals that are in his room, off to the right side. He slams open a secret door, sort of dives behind the door, and the door closes behind him, and all of a sudden you can't see where the door was anymore. You still know where it is, but it flushed perfectly with the wall. And you guys are left with an open portal and yourselves. And I think now is a good stopping point for tonight.
Yeah.
Yay!
We can solve that next time. Go team. That was very good.
Go team!
Yeah, that was fun.
Good session.
Good session. I'm
Yeah.
happy you hit us with the classic.
I did. Well, I was gonna come up eventually. I want to see how many of you guys knew it.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
Let's make a deal. No.
I just feel like my character would think very pragmatically.
And that is a very pragmatic question. That is the bit of it is that it is realistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice session, you guys. All right. I know that we might not be seeing Jaya for a minute, which is sort of sad, but I'm hoping, Annette, you can stick around and join as often as you can. And, if you ever have a weekend where you can't do Sunday, but you can do Friday like this again, let us know.
And all right, that's the end of our podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening. Thank you so much to our listeners at home. Please follow us on Spotify, rate and review. You can also find us on Amazon, and look for us all other places you wouldn't normally find a podcast. We have been the Runtpack Goes Planewalking. Thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoyed. Bye.